And we're back here once again with another episode of the MSK show. And this is going to be episode 199. So I hope you guys had a great day. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your week that is ahead of you. And in this episode of the MSK show, we just have one topic for tonight's Wednesday panel show. And that's going to be John Boyega, who's in the conversation once again because he chose to just attack Star Wars fans because, reasons, because he wasn't getting talked about or discussed at length as like other Star Wars figures like Kathleen Kennedy. We had that rumor drama a few weeks ago, if you guys remember, about her leaving and other Star Wars drama that ended up happening with like the Acolyte and so much other things, right? But John Boyega decided to put himself in the conversation, and we'll cover that as our only topic tonight. But that's pretty much it. The other two topics, I want to save that for Monday panel show because I feel like that would be much better for that time because me and Professor Savage Dad already covered two major topics on our last show. And I was like, for this one, we'll just do one, get it over with just in a little bit from right now at the time of us doing the show live. That's pretty much it. We would have started on time, but Warren made us start late. It's all Warren's fault. God damn. How do you do it?
Yes, it's true. It's always my fault. I mean, your other podcast didn't end until 20 minutes ago? But yeah, it's all my fault.
Yeah. But at least you're wearing a Dragon Ball Z shirt. That kind of, bridges all the gaps right there. You know what's crazy? We're going to get Dragon Ball Super Manga Volume 26, 27 coming up very soon. Feels like forever ago we haven't had one because Akira Toriyama passed away and they had to delay the super manga for a while, and Toyotaro is the main guy doing it all now. I don't know how long they're going to have Dragon Ball Super manga go on. They haven't even completed like the anime form of it yet. The anime ended off on the Tournament of Power arc, and we have like Moro, which is like the best arc in my opinion in Super. You have the Granola arc, and then you have like the rest of the superhero arc from the movie retreaded in the book. So that's going to have its own like anime form when, Goku fights Ultra, Beast Mode Gohan or whatever. So Dragon Ball all over the place. That's why I couldn't get into Dragon Ball Daima. Not because I wasn't going to like it. It was more like, can I get this already finished before I start something new? That was kind of like my opinion on it. It's like maybe finish out Super first before we start working on something completely different, obviously, So
they haven't dropped a new chapter on Shonen Jump app in a long time either.
Yeah, what's the last chapter? Because Gohan went beast mode in chapter 100, and I think they got to like chapter 105 or 10.
It was 104 in the Shonen Jump app. 104.
Yeah, good lord, man. So yeah, they're definitely behind on Dragon Ball Super coming out because the Super manga usually is one of the more like popular titles on there. Like it always gets insta read. People are always checking out for spoilers and stuff like that. So yeah, the world will be much better, everyone, when you have Dragon Ball Super manga returning, which should be in a couple of weeks because, rest in peace, Akira Toriyama, one of the greatest creators of all time. He had some really wacky ideas of Dragon Ball Z, but like it's someone's like death that I thought about recently. I was like, man, he created something so timeless, so classic that I feel like that's one of the very fewest of animes that made people think, do, say, and act in such different ways you never would have even thought. And, it's crazy. People just kind of consider it one of those like fighters shonen animes, but there's a lot of underlying deep meanings there. People actually just choose to look past the surface level, honestly. Even in like GT and even in things like Super, honestly. So we'll start with intros really quickly, and then we'll get to our topic in a little bit here. We'll start with Grey Poupée. How you doing, man? Are you alive? Did you get your coffee tonight to talk to me?
I did, in fact. I'm going with a gingerbread flavored one tonight. It's kind of delicious. Decided to treat myself. But yeah, I had to do the caffeine thing because what can I say? MSK takes forever to start his shows. We were all just waiting on MSK.
It's not my fault tonight. Literally, Warren admitted that it was his fault. Oh my God.
It was mine. I'll admit it.
God. Because I would have just started right after the show with Savage, like I told you. But Warren was like, nope, got to do life stuff and got to go take care of baby Grogu. And it's like, all right, now there's two of them. Now I see two of them.
They're growing like
No.
gremlins. There's actually 3 of them. Right, there's the little one right here.
Oh God, man. The bigger one had a baby. So where's the mom? If there's 2 of them.
Oh, right here.
Oh. No, but there should be a mom and a dad. All right.
Oh.
Unless one's a single parent. Unless that one's a single Grogu.
The Immaculate Conception Grogu. You just get water on them and feed them after midnight.
Holy crap, man. But Lunchbox Warren, how you doing, man? How's the production art for Sig and Joe going?
Man, I've been working so much between my 2 other jobs. I've gotten some pages done. I think I just finished earlier today between the show and my other job. I penciled out 2 more pages. So, but yeah, I've got to work doubles on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And I work at the gas station Monday and Tuesday, and then I take off for Port Angeles on Wednesday. So I'm going to be extremely busy for the rest of this week. But hey, it's fun though. Money, you know.
Yeah, and not this week, but the following week, you're going to be essentially at the con, the convention, to get your name out there, which is what I think a lot of indie creators should do if you have that opportunity. And then the following week after that, I'm going to be in Vegas for the F&T meetup. I'll be out there on Wednesday to do stuff, obviously, but the actual meetup is Thursday at 7:00. And when the meetup's over, unfortunately, I have to go back home. So we'll just leave early in the morning because I have to work that same day. And I'm going to have the person that does the schedule just schedule me at like 10 to 6. That way I could just have enough time, wake up, and we get home because it's only a couple hours to get back. So I'll probably be like good 10 minutes late, but or maybe I just might bite the bullet and do 11 to 7. And then we just like not have a show that Friday when I get back. But then again, I'd rather just bite the bullet and do 10 to 6, but there's no way, depending on what I think might happen, we'll be back in time. So debatably, we'll have a 10 to 6. And if we do have a show, we'll do it just a little bit later and we'll just maybe make like an hour or something because I'll be dead after that, guys. It's literally coming back from the meetup is basically the day afterwards and then coming back here and just going straight to work. So I'll schedule some time off later on. Maybe I might schedule a Sunday off in a few of these weeks from now on. Maybe we'll see how it goes. I usually don't like taking breaks when it comes to like podcasting and playing games until like the later in the year, honestly, when it's like slow time, because slow time's already over. That's like kind of like my vacation is slow time at work, like the beginning part of like January, February, March period, which is like the slowest time. I kind of use that as my vacation because you get less hours, but it doesn't really affect your money because basically working less means you get kind of like a slightly bigger paycheck technically because they don't tax you enough, right? So I just take that time to just do stuff more often, but given my schedule with work, getting time off days in a row is just practically impossible, but it's okay. I have the tools to cope with whatever life throws at me, and Gray understands me.
Yeah, you got copium.
True. Before we get into our main topic tonight, the newest movie dropping this week is a Minecraft movie, and that is featuring people that you guys may know. It has the black lady from Peacemaker season 1. I do think she did a good job in that show, despite being, I guess, a lesbian. She wasn't really anything bad, honestly. She was just a character who was gay, but it didn't like obviously take over and just be the whole-ness of her character, So I feel like having her in a movie is fine, I guess, but depends on who you're pairing her up with. They're pairing her up with like Jack Black and fucking Jason Momoa. And I've seen the trailers, and I'm like, because people always use that argument of like, oh, it's a kid's movie. It's not made for you. And it's like, I don't know what this notion is with people anymore, where it's like, because you're like 30, that means you just are not allowed to like Minecraft. People don't know that there's people out there that like Roblox, right? That's for like 6-year-olds. Keep in mind, Pokemon as a thing is designed for kids of ages between like 4 to 9, and Pokemon is the highest selling media franchise ever beside Hello Kitty. Okay, so I don't get this notion of like, oh, it's a kid's product, so that means that you just can't like it. It's like, the fuck's wrong with you? First of all,
that's a pretty good point. But kind of like the rides, where like a younger kid can go on the ride as long as he's above this, like that's whatever the height requirement is. MSK's below it, so he counts as a kid. So these movies are for him.
I will also say this. when you're looking at, you know, a Minecraft movie, like, I want people to understand, kids don't be buying movie tickets. They're actually not interested really in movies at all. They're mostly like anime and manga and basically doing like cringe Instagram, TikTok stuff. Let's just say that, you know, or if they do game, they're playing like Fortnite and a bunch of other stuff. Like, movies really aren't on their radar like that. There have been many studies that have come out that have admitted that when kids go to movies nowadays, they're on their phones more than usual. And people are going to be like, weren't you guys on your phones back in the day when you guys went to movies too? Well, it's a little bit different than that. The phones that we had back in the day compared to what the kids have nowadays as phones, way different in terms of technology. We couldn't just pull out a fucking smartphone and just start doing that. Not for a long time, but, you know, way different now.
The first cell phones that have a dark mode, so if you open it up in the theater, you're lighting up half the section.
Yeah.
So.
Good Lord. This is their cast for the Minecraft movie. Like, this is fucking disgusting, honestly.
I mean, I don't want to say something's bad without watching it, but I just thought the casting was really weird. Like, you could have put better people.
It feels like a weird cast, yeah. I agree,
yeah. I did think some of it looked funny. Seeing some of those Minecraft designs done and the way they did was.
Some of the CGI looked bad. It looked okay. Yeah. Like, it wasn't like eyesore-ish, but I was like, damn. Like, this is a movie that I could easily see just completely bombing. Like, Snow White comes out, completely fucking fails, and then Warner Brothers, in typical Warner Brothers fashion, always has to do this. They're like, just hold my beer. I can make you even suffer worse right now. So it's going to be an hour and 41 minutes long. This is a movie, like Grace said earlier when we were talking, you know, this is a movie you potentially just like watch on the certain websites that sail the seas. Let's just say
or
that.
In 2 weeks when it's on HBO Max.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I'm hearing weird rumblings that it's not bad, which I just assumed like, okay, so this one's gonna suck, but I don't know, man.
This is your
it's
cast.
Got enough buzz that I think I actually need to go see it. So I love Jennifer Coolidge. She is awesome in everything that she's
very
done.
fun. She's very fun. Yep. Mm-hmm.
I used to love Jack Black and everything. It feels like recently it's these odd roles that he's choosing that don't seem to quite live up to what his previous work was. So I don't know, man. I'm open to it not sucking, but yeah, I assumed it was going to be worse than 52 and 4 out of 10, but we'll see.
Kevin, what's up, man? He says international audience going to have to support Minecraft in order for the film to succeed at the box office. Budget is $150 million plus. I'll be honest with you, dude. I haven't really looked at this movie's budget yet. I'll just check Wikipedia really quickly. I know you're not supposed to, but sometimes they have some of the budgets that are good here. Okay, the budget's rumored to be $150 million. Okay, so we're factoring in like marketing. How much do you think the marketing is? Is like 80 to 100, or do you think they went for like a $60 million marketing budget on this one? Because I couldn't fathom a world they dropped 80 million in marketing on this. There's no way.
I might have, man. I used to see that commercial everywhere.
I did too, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it was Super Bowl, but I know it was like around there. I don't know, man. They might have actually dumped something into it. I think a good rule of thumb is usually double, or like whatever the budget is.
I agree with that, Walter. They basically went the Jumanji approach with Minecraft, which I honestly don't think is the weirdest decision. They're basically the same type of film. True. Because
that's what the trailers led me to think.
If it's fun, then and people enjoy, if it's
wins.
A fun movie, it wins.
Yeah.
Because right now it has a low bar to get over with it when it comes to kids' movies. And if it's a fun film, it could do really well. I mean, I can easily see it without any competition because I don't think there really is much. But, if it gets to 300 million, it's probably it hasn't doubled what it's cost, but it's
depending on the marketing budget. Like we don't count marketing, it's 150. So
marketing has to be close to 100. I mean, like,
damn. So if it's 250, it's got to be reaching that $600-700 million price tag.
I don't know if it'll do that, but I think it might probably do 300 or 400 million.
What if this movie just ends up hitting what fucking like $1
billion? So they already
if it did that, Warner Brothers would be doing backflips right now. If they did
everything would be Minecraft. They'd be planning Minecraft 2 already.
Do you think this movie's too late?
Well, they're going pretty hard. I think McDonald's has this Minecraft promotion now that I think I saw as I was driving.
I saw it. Yep.
I don't know, man. So when you look at a lot of the like biggest box office hits of last year, a lot of them are this family film type, and it doesn't seem like
They are.
Snow White is doing any good. So I
Yeah.
don't know, man.
Just Gray always has to take those shots in at Snow White when he can. He's like,
Well, they can have a Sonic type effect. You know, like if the Sonic movie does, look kind of goofy at
they
first,
could.
but they turned out being really well done, fun movies. This stuff looks like it could be humorous. It's just the trailer did not put any faith at all for me. Like I just
I'll
thought
be
the
honest here.
trailer
I
was
think the trailers were
terrible.
fucking terrible. Those were trash.
It kind of
honestly.
felt like Momoa and Jack Black were in an SNL skit
I felt like they
more
were
than
just
they were
trying
in a
so
movie.
hard. That's what
Yeah.
happens when you have no synergy with your cast members, is that you try to force it so hard that it just doesn't exist. Like Dwayne Johnson and Kevin Hart for the Jumanji movies, even if you just watch the trailers, you can tell those guys have synergy there. You can tell.
Yeah.
Well,
It's
you've
just
also seen them
natural.
in like 20 different movies together. So you
Also
know The
true,
Rock and
yeah.
Kevin Hart. They
Yeah.
work.
Or just
Yeah.
aim for the bushes. Just kidding. That's a
I missed the original OG Jumanji movie. That one was amazing with Robin Williams and all them.
Here's some of the reviews from Julian Roman of MovieWeb. Yeah, I know MovieWeb. A Minecraft movie arrives is exceedingly silly with puerile humor meant for young children and diehard gamer enthusiasts. The goofy characters, inane narrative, and dull musical numbers will be a chore to sit through for most adults. Okay. Score 2 out of 5. A diverting, if unexceptional, movification of the video game. The film sports a largely incomprehensible story, boasts a cracking pace, and a distinctive look. 3 out of 5. A fun, exhilarating, and delightful adventure. Kids will love it. Oh, God. Okay. I know where those are going. If Minecraft is the game where kids exercise their creativity by building new digital worlds full of tunnels and fortresses, a Minecraft movie is where the creativity goes to die.
She don't hold back.
It mostly chooses laziness over imagination, directly insulting everything Minecraft stands for. Shit. Fuck. While this movie feels like a chaotic mess that only focuses on Jack Black and Jason Momoa being ridiculous and clearly having a blast while doing so, it isn't made for me. My Minecraft-loving kids had the best time, which is what the studio set out to do. Okay.
Wait.
But
Why
there's all
does that
these kind
get
of
a rotten
positive
then?
ones.
Why does that one get a rotten? And it's like she admits that the studio geared it for her kids, and her kids had the best time. So that means the
Oh, that's
movie
Mama's
set up.
Geeky. Oh, that's you guys don't. Mama's Geeky's a fucking shill. I know her. That bitch is a fucking shill. She was the person. Remember that she went viral a few years ago when the Marvel. No, it was in 2023 when the Marvels dropped, and then she said she had to get off Twitter because man babies were crying over the Marvels. That's her. That's her from Screen Rant. She's
Oh.
trash. Mama's Geeky is
Well, I think we
stupid.
could skip a couple of them, but that last one, Peter Gray, he's got a good name. I'm just saying.
Jack Black and Jason Momoa are the comedic duo we didn't know we needed, and their 1-2 punch of camp theatrics and unwavering commitment to the cause make a Minecraft movie, ridiculous as it is, far more enjoyable than it has any right to be. Okay. A Minecraft
So
movie
that's-
accomplishes the feat of capturing anything can happen spirit of the game. Okay, not bad.
So that's kind of what I've been hearing the buzz of is like, this is like way better than it should be. So I have no idea. Haven't seen this shit yet. Oh shit, Sci-Fax in the chat. What is up, sir?
Hey, Sci-Fax.
Sci-Fax, this is still going on. Poor Gray. Also, what's up, Warren? I guess MSK is here too. This man's gonna see me in Vegas and he's gonna try and take my girl. It's okay, man. It's okay, Sci-Fax. I get all the girls. This counts as a review. Uproariously good fun.
Yeah, uproariously is a word, MSK. But I'm proud of you for being able to get yourself through that.
This is from Discussing Film. We know who they are. This is a new low for modern video game adaptations, being painfully unfunny and simply ugly to look at with uncanny CGI. Shit. Fuck. Oh, God. Okay, so I think we got the general sentiment of it. This seems pretty mixed and divisive.
It's
If
very
at 50
mixed, but
yeah.
come on, like compared to Snow White, this is obviously not getting the lowest ratings of the year, which
Yes.
interesting. I
This
would
is
have maybe
Wednesday
thought
before
it
the
would
Thursday
last year.
previews. Because if it's 52% already, by the time this shit hits Friday, that is tanking. I could see this easily. This is the critic score. The audience might be different. I could easily
I
see this
see
shit
a
going to
high
like the 30.
audience, low critic, most likely for this.
If the
show.
audience thinks it's trash, it's tanking. I think opening weekend, I think it does slightly better than Snow White. I think it does 95 million opening weekend. That would still
Does
be a
it
fail.
have any competition aside from Snow White?
Let's see what's coming out. Opening this
nothing
week.
family wise. I mean, I guess you could consider possibly Death of a Unicorn, but that's the closest as far as
Freaky
I see.
Tales doesn't that open?
What the hell's that?
I'm not aware of Freaky Tales. I'm not into your side of the internet.
The answer
MSK.
is no.
You guys said stuff coming out this week. You know what's crazy? I should just show you guys what I'm talking about compared to just saying it because you guys just don't get my humor. It's okay. It's fine. Wear a balloon so I can point at you in the crowd. Oh my God. That's crazy.
Otherwise, people probably won't see you. You know.
Minecraft is known for creativity in terms of gameplay, not story. So that comment calling out a lack of it is a bit funny. True. So the thing that people generally tend to forget about when it comes to video game adaptation movies, people have to factor in when you make a movie, there has to be a central storyline to it. In a video game, it's much more easier to create the video game levels around the story. It's way easier to do that in terms of a narrative storytelling element, right? But in a movie, you have to have a plot. That's what people generally like watching movies for. Yeah, you have the entertainment factor of like the cast and the score and all that stuff. But if the movie lacks a plot, that's a negative for it. That's the same thing I heard about the Super Mario Brothers movies, that it's entertaining, but there's really just no plot there. It's kind of like character just goes from point A to point B constantly. You know, not that that's bad, but then again, you do have to kind of knock points down. And if it doesn't have a plot, if a movie has no plot, I can't just be like, man, it's this fucking masterpiece or great movie. It's like, you know, not having a plot is a bad thing, you know? But then again, you value different movies based on different criteria, like horror movies. Horror movies typically have horrible plots, pretty much non-existent plots, and the characters are usually trash. So you're not going there with much, but get you guys to see my point. I might go to the Minecraft movie because it's rumored to have a 5-minute preview of Superman, and then I can leave since there's nothing opening this week worth of shit. Yeah, true. They are attaching a 5-minute preview of the Superman movie directed by James Gunn to this movie. 5 minutes of Superman getting attached to this. I don't know how I feel about
that.
That
alone, I think, is going to boost ticket sales. Though.
It would.
Going to do better than Snow White.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. It's just more like, do you really want to attach 5 minutes, which is the most impressionable part about a movie, out? Like 5 minutes is a lot. I mean, it's a 2-hour plus movie. That's not bad, but leaks are going to happen after that. Like someone's going to record it and put the leaks out there. But it's like, do you think 5 minutes of footage out there of Superman is going to end up damaging it later on? You don't think so?
If the 5 minutes is good. I mean, hopefully. Yeah, if it's shit, that could suck. But I got faith in Gunn so far. I think it'll work out to his favor.
Talking about Gunn giving out a hand me out, help me to the Minecraft movie. It's like, don't worry, Warner Brothers, I'll help you guys out. Here's 5 minutes of my Superman.
Here's 5 minutes of my Superman movie people actually want to see.
Because now I'm debating, do I want to pay $14 to see 5 minutes of Superman early? Because I might do it for that, and I'll just leave afterwards.
So there's The Friend opening up. Because keep in mind, I don't know if some of these have limited theater quantity too.
The Friend is not going to be like a family movie, I don't think. So this woman adopts a Great Dane from her dead mentor. So I don't know. It's learning about grief and shit. I don't think you're going to take families to that.
Well, I don't see any family movies up there right now. Like I think
the closest, the second one down.
This one I've seen trailers for. Hell of Summer. I think I've seen.
So I hear it's funny. I think it's a neon one, if I remember right. They did some pretty decent marketing with this, and went after some YouTubers to get them at the premieres. It looks decent, but again, not like a family fare thing.
Yeah.
Also, some of these movies, like we've talked about before, some of these, I don't know if they're getting a big, wide theatrical release, like a Minecraft movie. Because Minecraft movie is going to be in the maximum 4,200 theaters, right? I don't know if Friend and Freaky Tales and Hell of Summer and William Tell and The Luckiest Man Alive, I don't know if those are going to be getting the 2,000 screens, actually.
No.
You know?
I didn't even know William Tell existed, so Yeah,
What
my
else is
thing
dropping?
is, I don't think that'll be wide. And then
What the? A man and a woman. That's how you know titles of getting lazy. Who named a movie like that? Just a man and a woman.
listen,
I wonder what
it's
it's
the
about.
filler title. It's a placeholder. We'll come up with a better one down the road.
A nice Indian boy. Oh God, wake up. Okay, that's all that's coming out. The Groove. Okay, so people aren't gonna watch any of this. None of this screams on the top of like I must go to the theaters and watch this. Maybe you might catch it, but god damn, that's crazy, guys. I can actually review movies on this website.
So
You
with
log-
no competition, that's didn't do Minecraft quite well.
That's what we said
Yeah,
about Snow White and Brave New World, though, and that ended up not working out for them either.
Well,
but those are March, man. We're in April now. Come on, dude. This is quarter two.
I'll ask you then, Gray. What is your prediction on Minecraft opening weekend?
I have no clue. It's definitely going to do better than Snow White, and I think it's going to hang on longer. But that's my only prediction.
I'm saying
with the Superman thing,
million.
I think it's going to break 100 with the Superman 5-minute thing.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that was a thing. So my prediction is I'll go 100 plus.
Good gosh.
What about you, Warren?
50.
You got any insight?
I'm gonna go globally. Yeah, I'd say it breaks 100 million globally, but it's less than 50 in America.
The man and the woman is way more innovative than a name. The MSK lies. These are just lies. Actually.
Well, if you called this show the Man and Woman Show, come on, it would be a lie. No women will ever stick around here.
Advertising right there. The theaters aren't as full as they usually are in Cali here. Yeah, that's the problem. And we have like one of the biggest states for movie going anyway. Like in my area, just my city, the theater experience here is sad to say relatively dead because people just chose to drive 30 minutes down the hill than being here. You know, like down the hill, the experience is there, but I don't know about you guys' states. Like my area, my specific area, not driving out is non-existent unless it's a big more like title. No one cares, honestly.
I wish I had paid more attention. I was on my buddy's show earlier this week, and he actually had the graphic and he had the box office for every year. I think this is the lowest year since 2011, if I remember right.
March year, right? Lowest like first quarter.
For the first quarter, yeah.
Yeah.
And with that, you have to think this is $2025 too. So the ticket prices are more. I don't know, man. It just seems super down compared to every other year, which is interesting.
Do you watch Dan Murrell's videos? I think he had a great breakdown of what happened this past quarter. Because I usually watch Dan Murrell. I don't agree with everything he says, obviously, but I think he puts out the best box office breakdown videos. Like if you compare, I think he had it. I'll bring it up here before we go to our topic. Year in and year out, it's because after the certain virus, people said it was just going to keep going up. And it felt like it was, but it's super disingenuous too, because it's mostly 5 to maybe 4 movies carrying it. Because that and then a bunch of other ones that are complete bombs anyway, you know? So I feel like the box office numbers since 2020, 2021 have been just wildly disingenuous. And I'm not saying they're inaccurately reporting, not beside of Disney, but it's if 5 movies are carrying your top spots in the box office where everything else is flopping, that means this shit now is so top heavy that it has to be a specific movie coming out at a specific time with certain things that people actually want to go see. It's good Lord. I don't know how to get people back in the theater. I really don't. And, people keep saying it's lack of quality movies. And it's you look back on some of the movies that have come out the last 4 years, some of them have been really good. Is someone going to try to convince you that Top Gun Maverick is a bad movie? Top Gun Maverick is a great movie. That did make a lot of money too, but then again, I don't think every movie coming out has been bad, but there's been a lot of really horseshit movies that have come out that have really soured people on going back to the theaters. So much crap.
I was tuning out when you were talking because it's MSK talking. But I wouldn't exactly say that the new Top Gun movie is a bad movie, but man, is it full of tropes. It feels like it's just one thing after another. Where it's yes, these are all. They're really played out in a certain way. That being said, it's kind of the best version of all those tropes into one cohesive story. So I wouldn't call it bad, but I'm not as big a fan of it as you are, MSK.
You didn't. That's crazy. You didn't like Top Gun Maverick. That's insane.
It's okay.
You like
It
the
is
classic
what
more?
it is. I like it more than the original one, although it doesn't have the volleyball scene.
I
so.
think the original is overrated too. I don't know. Like, it's not a bad movie. It's a it's people do that thing with like older movies where like you watch them and you criticize them. People are like, oh, you just didn't like it because it doesn't have explosion. And it's like, no. I'm just like there's a difference between watching a movie as like a kid growing up with it versus like just watching it as an adult for the first time. I watched it for the first time. It's a solid okay-ish movie. I don't think there's way better movies that were released back then than that, if I'm being honest here. It's not a bad movie. It's enjoyable, but the sequel just, it's way better in pretty much every single regard possible, in my opinion,
Well, the sequels was more like a real fine-tuned machine. It wasn't that deep, but it was fun. It had really excellent flying scenes in it, filmed-wise, and dogfights. It's just, it's not very deep, but it was a good homage to the original, and they just trimmed a lot of the fat off without having like the overbloated love story and the volleyball scene and stuff along those lines. So I Maverick I liked. It wasn't. It was one of those movies that wouldn't have mind paying for the movie ticket.
I went and saw
fun.
it.
Yeah, you have fun. You watch it, and you come out of it entertained. Will you go watch it 20 more times? No, but that one time you did. Well, I heard Twister was the same way too. The
Twister bomb too. Yeah,
pretty much.
Yeah.
It felt like the same thing. They're kind of trying to trim the fat, but do the same type of deal.
Yeah.
It wasn't nearly as effective.
Good Lord. So this was the box office update that I had seen on Dan Murrell's channel. So it looks like a lot of these numbers are really fluctuating badly. I want to see what's the highest year we've had. I'm pretty sure the highest year was like 2016, 2017, 18, 19 period. Should be that one, at least from the modern year, at least from the last decade. So like 2015 onwards,
The end of February, and you could see that we weren't in a great position, but the 2025 box office was over $100 million ahead of where we were in 2024, and really only about $100 million behind where we were in 2023. Well, after a disappointing March, let's see what those numbers look like now. And it is a big difference. We are now almost $200 million behind where we were in 2024. So all those gains that we got versus 2024 in January and February, those were all given back and then some. We're about $300 million behind where we were in 2023 and really just barely ahead of where we were in 2022. So this was, as I suspected, a major setback for a year in which the studios and the theater chains thought that we were poised for a big comeback. Now we're just at the end of the first quarter. I think that theaters are going to get a big boost this upcoming weekend with Minecraft. At least it seems to be trending that way. But this was a March to forget. It was one of the worst post-pandemic months that we've had so far. And again, it's not because there was lack of product. There was just lack of interest. Now, a lot of people are hoping.
I agree with that too. Good.
I was going to say his only went back to 2015. I think 2011 is the only one that was lower than this in recent history. If it's not 2011, then it's 2001. And I can go back and check those numbers, but it's been a while since it's been this low for the first quarter. So
yeah, I feel like what he just said there is also true. Like you just feel like, I don't know, just a general sentiment feeling that I get. There just is a lack of interest in going to the theaters and watching these movies. Now, to be fair, I think the studios killed that with their smaller theatrical release windows. Remember when it was a 45-day exclusive window at least, but now it's just 2 weeks? 2 fucking weeks. What do they want to happen?
It can be. Not every company does the 2 weeks, but yeah, I hear you. It's
man. Disney at least sometimes doesn't do it, but like
you wait like 4 weeks, sometimes 5, and you can rent it for $19.99 on Amazon or so, and then you can just enjoy it at your home with the cost of everything. We might see it go up if the prices get better and people have more money to spend. But Minecraft might do well just because of the fact of that it doesn't have any controversy around it aside from a goofy looking trailer. Yeah. Both of my nephews, one's 15 and one's 9, are ecstatic to watch it. A lot of other kids, so when you get a movie that's like 6-year-olds are happy to go see, and they're asking their parents to go, and they're bringing their 12 and 13-year-old siblings with them. You're going to get, I think you're going to get what could end up being a pretty decent box office for this in a time period that is really hurting right now for movies. And
like
Minecraft,
July is touted as a big month for movie theaters, but I want people to understand this though. Theaters can't be surviving off 1 or 2 decent months. That's not how a business works. You know, like there is really just no interest in some of these movies coming out, whether it be, I don't think everyone like has like ad blockers to the point where like they don't see trailers, like, because, you know, the average person is doing whatever God knows what on YouTube, looking at what they're dropping, all these new trailers for movies coming up, and it just seems like no one gives a shit. Like, I don't know what happened to people. They just don't care about the newest movies coming out. Like, could be, you know, lack of quality control. I mean, that's probably the biggest cited one, is a lack of quality control, you know?
Yeah. Quality controls is a big one. Like, when you just lose faith, and when your money's tighter, and
you're more conservative with it.
Yeah, you're more conservative with it. You don't want to go spend $60, you know, to bring you and your missus, or, you know, with your bringing the kids out and the missus and you know, that could be a $60, $80 event, and you don't want to go watch Snow White when the lead actress is telling everyone how much she hates you. You know, so it's like, I don't know if I want to go see that. Like a train wreck. Sonic the Hedgehog did fine. I think Minecraft will do fine. It's just there has to be no controversy, and the movie has to look good. Like Working Man, Jason Statham. If you like beat 'em up action movies, then you're gonna go watch that one because it looked decent. But a bunch of other ones, I mean, like I don't think Captain America Brave New World looked that decent in the trailers. I don't think it built up much hype. I think there was a lot of talk behind the scenes. Marvel already has a bad rep. Snow White had the controversy with the lead actress. So yeah, I think Minecraft that's going to help them out. And I think, you know, if we start getting a string of better movies and the economy does better, I think you're going to see a massive uptick, because I think the want is there. It's just there's no faith, time, or money to go out and do it anymore. And plus, with the availability on streaming within like 2 to 4 weeks, that is also a factor too. I mean,
it's a huge factor. But there have been some kind of ones that I expected more business from this year, like Mickey 17. You know, like with his previous one being like an Oscar-winning flick, I at least kind of thought, you know, there'd be some traction for that one. It just kind of came and went, but there's still some interesting ones. I think Sinners is like April 18th or something. So in a couple weeks, we get like the Ryan Coogler vampire one. That one should probably do some business.
Sinners.
There's the Final
that
Destination
looks very good. I actually think I like the Sinner trailers. I think that might do I hope it does decently well. I hope it does. It doesn't look that bad.
It looks pretty decent, man. I
hope
it does
the Final
some
Destination trailers. I think those look good-ish, I guess. Those look kind of fine. I was never that huge into those movies, like other people were.
Oh, dude. But they will scar anyone that watches them. Like, I can't drive on a freeway and see like one of those like logging trucks without thinking of that movie.
Yeah,
man. But yeah, they're not the greatest. What can I say? They had a huge fall from grace. Those first couple were great. I hope they bring back Devon Sawa for this one.
They brought a whole hi, by the way. They brought a whole new level of fear to a generation, like you know, people around our age or whatever, seeing stuff like how you're talking about the logging incident and all that stuff. You started looking at random things that are out there in the world that you've probably seen maybe hundreds of times, 50 to 100 of times, to where you're like, oh, this is a Final Destination moment, ready to happen in front of me. And you can actively see it. Like if there's a logging truck in front of you, you'll just see like all the cars just like, nah, I'm going over this way. Like they'll just move because of that moment. I don't know if this movie will be able to instill that kind of fear into the next generations, because everybody knows it's like a Rube Goldberg machine of death. Like that's what these movies ended up becoming. It's if you know what a Rube Goldberg machine is, it's just like random acts of whatever happened.
The leaked ways for people to die? The one with the peanut allergy. There's apparently one where someone has a nut allergy and they have to get over the curse by eating a bunch of nuts.
That
Fuck.
that would be weird, but it's like
I don't like.
I mean,
I don't
I've
eat
seen
nuts
them.
myself.
I've seen them use the whole like the nut allergy, like the peanut allergy, basically, in a bunch of shows and stuff. I mean, they did it back in like Freaks and Geeks. If you guys ever saw that show, which like
yeah.
which really amplified, all the like a bunch of comedians that you see nowadays, even Seth Rogen and stuff. It's like that show had the peanut allergy back in like the early 90s, if not early 2000s era, So that stuff's been around for a while. But Final Destination did a little bit different. It took like practical things that you're using all the time, and they showed how these can malfunction in the right way to where it becomes a scary thing, And they did that. They originally did that really clever, and then the later movies, like I said, it becomes like a Rube Goldberg machine of just like, it's like that one guy lifting weights, and all of a sudden something just like drops on his head because of some random bullshit. Like the axe hits the cord, and then it just drops
all
on
the one
him.
with the girl doing the somersaults, like the backflips, and she backflipped and broke her neck. I was like, oh my god. Whew.
Well, I mean,
Damn,
that's just a thing that can happen, but I mean, but like when it's like out of the realm of possibility, they're like, how do we make this a thing? And then they're just like, oh, well, instead of a toaster and a bathtub, how about we place you in an MIR machine, and then we have like somebody wear metal around it, and like metal flies at you or some shit. Like,
God,
it looks like it's a wheelchair. New fear unlocked. I didn't know to fear having a wheelchair in the same room when getting an MRI, but damn.
Final Destination Bloodlines will include a sequence where one character dies from being sucked into an MRI machine and crushed into it with a wheelchair.
See, I mean, look, I don't mind that. I hate when studios and or trailers or anything like this does this. Stop telling us what you're going to do. Let me see it. Let me see it.
That should be a surprise.
Don't like forewarn me. Like, look, there's a scene with a specific thing. There's even certain reviewers that I don't watch anymore. Some of them are actually some of my friends who the way that they describe stuff that's going to happen, I'm like, you need to stop doing this, because you're just like, oh man, this guy pulls up with a wheelchair and then you see a cement truck. I'm not going to tell you what happens. And you're like, dude, I can already imagine what happens. Like, stop. You get like 90% of what's about to happen. Stop doing that shit. And they still do it, and I love these people. They're great. They're great at what they do. But when they go to explain their movies, I'm like, come on, dude. Like you that's not how you explain a movie. Like even with my reviews aren't great. I'm not gonna lie, but I don't sit there and I'm like, dude. So halfway through the movie, there's this part with this thing, and you're not going to imagine what happens. But if I sat there and I said that, you're like, well, now I'm imagining what could happen with this. You shouldn't want to know any of that information. You know what I mean?
Because especially in a horror movie, because a horror movie thrives off you not knowing and you basically being surprised at how someone could die, especially in a horror movie. Horror movies, they live and die by that surprise factor. So if you know how it's all going to transpire, you're just like,
it's like if I mean,
just to
like,
shit on
like
MSK's
90
point.
let me say one thing real quick. So like 90% of horror movies nowadays like run off of the jump scare moments. You know what I mean? Like there's so many jump scare bullshit, and a lot of that actually is the least interesting thing sometimes, usually about the movie. But if you're going to sit there and just tell people like, oh man, there's some great jump scares at like halfway through the movie, a third through the movie, and you're like, oh, I'm waiting to see what is the jump scare everyone's talking about. But then you're expecting it. And then it happens, and now you're not expecting it. Don't get me wrong. When you're watching these things, the foreshadowing is usually always there. Like you're like, oh, like I can watch a horror movie nowadays and just be like, I should be scared about now, and I almost snap my fingers to the point where like something should jump out of me. The ones that catch me off guard, I'm like, hey, dude, good job. But that doesn't happen that often anymore. Like it's so in the past or whatever. Like you've seen it before. You've seen this and that and the other before, and when people sit there and review it, so then you go out of your way to watch these people you like review stuff. Like that's why I leave a lot of my reviews very vague. And I can understand people not liking the way that I review stuff for that reason. Just like, you didn't really tell me anything. I'm like, yeah, that's the point. I'm just going to say I liked it or I didn't like it. And I'll compliment what I seen. Like, the acting was good, the way they portrayed some of the craziness that's going on around them. You know, I use vague statements instead of just being like, let me tell you, dude, there's a thing halfway through the movie you're not going to believe. Well, now you're expecting to see something you're not going to believe. I don't like that. And I don't like hearing it either. So I keep that out of my stuff. And if people don't like that,
agreed. And that's why your reviews are better than MSK's. Just to shit on MSK's point a second ago, I agree with what you're saying. You don't want to give away too much, but I don't know, man. That logging tree truck thing from the one that was in the trailer, and it's still like that scarred me. I don't know. It's not as graphic as the actual film, but man, that's the one that sticks with me from the Final Destination one. So.
I think that's the one that sticks with everybody because it's something you've literally seen on the road. Like once you're old enough to go and drive and you're out there and about, and all of a sudden you see these big ass semi trucks and some of them are carrying some questionable shit. You're like, man, if that bag of concrete just freaking hits just right and comes through my window at 60 miles an hour while I'm driving 60 miles an hour, that shit's going to take my head off. Like, and that's just a random thing, or even a brick or something. But in this, they're like, nah, we'll go with logging. So it's like, you know, probably somewhere in, I don't know what, Louisiana or some Midwest state, you know, some bullshit like that. And you're just like, God damn. And you have this 26-foot log just go through literally a whole person's body. You're like, oh my God. It's something it's like that morbid fantasy that everybody has, and I think that everybody has. I don't know if everybody has it, but it's not even a fantasy. I want to say it's more like you think of the worst possible scenario, and that's what that franchise thrives off of. Like, hey man, what's the worst thing I can think that could happen to me right now? And that franchise is like, oh, check it out. We got it right here on screen. You want to see it? Here's what happens.
For sure.
And they just give it to you.
I hope they do it well in this new one. But I don't want to confuse and say, like, I know that the Final Destination franchise is going to somehow bring back the box office. I don't know.
Oh, no,
just that one looks kind of interesting. I'm hearing some buzz about it. So I don't know. There's some interesting ones coming up within like the next 2 months. We'll see if the second quarter is going to be any better. But man, first quarter really sucked.
I mean, there's some movies this year in the box office zeitgeist right now that are like, I would almost say they're guaranteed billion-dollar movies, if not better. Like something like Lilo and Stitch, right? Lilo and Stitch, that comes out at the same time as Mission Impossible. They drop on the same week. So, you know, there'll probably be some like fun highlight. You know how they did like Barbenheimer? That'll be like Stitch Impossible or something like that. And it's the last thing in the Mission Impossible franchise. And I was saying that's a smart idea because you can have like, say you have a family of 4, right? A mom, dad, 2 kids. And let's say it's a boy and a girl, right? So you got whatever. You got the nuclear family. There you go. There's your nuclear family. And it's like, okay, well, the kids all want to go see Lilo and Stitch. And now the dad gets to go see Mission Impossible. So you can split the audience like that. Or whatever, and it's like, oh, cool, I can go see this while you guys all go see that, and it's actually a perfect storm in that way. It'll be the opposite of Barbie, where all the girls want to see Barbie and every dude wants to see Oppenheimer. You know, I guess
it's crazy how you gave girls Barbie and they actually went to go see it. It's fucking crazy. You give girls something they want to see, they'll go watch it. Yeah, don't blame men. No one blamed a man for Barbie doing that well.
Dude, crazy. I gave my ticket of Barbie to Anna, that Star Wars girl. Like I was down there in San Diego with them. Everyone was going, and a friend of mine was like, "Hey, I'm gonna go bar hopping," and Anna was like, "Oh, I don't got a ticket," and I was like, "You can have mine." And I just fucked off and just went drinking, and then like the next day or two, she dropped like a review of just like hating on the movie, and I was like, oh, I'm so sorry I gave you that ticket, because she came in scorching hot, and I was like, she went to see that off my ticket and she just trashed that movie, and I'm like, I didn't even watch it. But
are you guys ready for the banger? Time to start roasting a black print. I love roasting black men. I absolutely do. It just gives me joy in my heart, honestly. So let's get this banger going. And I've had sex today with a girl, so you know, doggy style, pulled her hair. The usual typical way you have sex with a girl. you know?
MSK is here doing the opposite of what everybody tells him to do, which is do not lie to kick it. You don't have to lie to kick it, man. Dude, we accept you as you are. You don't got to be like, guys, by the way, I talked to a woman today. Am I in the club? You're fine. That's all good.
Whoa, are you doing that meme of like the 4 dudes and looking at the other guy that's by himself? That's what... Oh,
Maybe,
God.
maybe.
Fucking hell. Hey, I'll say this. I've seen every single Mission Impossible movie except the newest one, and Mission Impossible Fallout is a certified banger. That movie is fucking fantastic.
Dude, the last like 3 they dropped were great.
Ghost Protocol was so
the very
good.
last one. So it was like 4, 5, and 6 were really good.
Really good, yeah.
7 was that one was a little shaky, but it's the last one, and I can only imagine what Tom Cruise is willing to do. And if they're smart enough, they won't I like him promoting the stunts that he's doing because we get to see, dude, this guy's willing to do it. That's awesome. That's great. Do that after the movie's out. You know what I mean? Or like once it's actually in the theaters and be like, look what he actually did during these scenes. Because you're kind of giving away some like cool, awesome shots in the movie. And you need to stop doing that. It's like watching trailers that have points in the movie that are like ending shots in the movie. You need to stop doing that.
That's why I didn't like Trap. Trap gave away the whole movie in the trailers. The entire thing.
I mean, that movie was just overall bad to begin with. It was a giant music video for his freaking for his daughter.
God, yep. I love watching a movie where a mom realized that her husband was a serial killer and then still willingly let that serial killer take her daughter somewhere. It's great parenting skills, right?
Well, the movie just didn't know when to fucking end. It had like 2 or 3 endings.
The reveal, you know what's crazy? Every single reveal made the movie even worse. What mom do you seriously know? She said to him, I knew you were the butcher. So why did you let him take your daughter to a concert? What was wrong with you? That movie broke my brain and logic. I don't even think it's even happened. There's no way I'd ever watch that pile of trash ever again. Fuck.
Well, I wonder when these nepo babies come around, which is what his daughter is basically. It's like they come around and it's like, well, your dad's known for this. It's like, ooh, should I also follow suit? Yeah. No. What would be surprising is if you didn't. If you didn't do that, if you actually made a good, competent movie on your own, that would actually be the most, like, we went to watch it, you're expecting like some crazy twist ending, but the movie actually ended up just being awesome or like at least decent. No. Let me follow my dad's footsteps and be like, let's continue on with this freaking mockery of this, is this what's happening or not happening? Is this what a twist? Stop doing that. Like, come on.
Like, I respect M. Night Shyamalan for certain things. Like, he's one of the few directors left that likes doing movies his own way. But at a certain point, you just might be so far up your own ass and you don't even know what to do anymore with your own products. Like, Trap is just a movie where it's literally him given free for all to do whatever he wants and no one telling him, hey, this is a stupid idea.
Well, that's why I feel like we're like James Gunn's at right now. It's like the way that he's been doing like Creature Commandos and now the way that he's promoting Superman. As much as I was one of the main freaking people, even in the sphere that we all hang out with or whatever, like I'm like, dude, I'm kind of a James Gunn fan. And even at the same time, I was like, at best, he's produced like an 8 out of 10 movie. None of them have been 9s or 10s in my opinion. So that's me being a decent Gunn fan in my opinion. And then he comes out and the way that he's advertising this movie to everybody, it's so weird, it's so lackluster and so lame, and it's like, but at the same time, at the beginning of everything, James Gunn, and he's just promoting himself like as this like I'm the next thing, and it's like, dude, you're not the focus point. You understand that, right? Like we do, or a lot of us have liked your movies. That's fine. But like you're not the reason that I'm going to see that. I'm not like, oh man, Superman. God, I'm not going to go see Superman. Like, wait, who's directing though? And then like James Gunn. Oh, I'm in. No, you're like, I want to see Superman. James Gunn's doing it. Okay, cool. I can that might be interesting. That might be an interesting take on it. Nobody's sitting there like James Gunn's doing it. It's not like Martin Scorsese or some shit where you're like, dude,
He can't sell
what
movies
is that
anymore.
gonna be like?
know,
What
man.
the
Martin
fuck?
Scorsese and Steven Spielberg can't sell movies anymore. I think the only director that can do that kinda is Nolan and Michael Bay to a certain extent.
Yeah, no, yeah,
Just those two.
No, Bay,
that's
man?
actually a good point.
No. But I think why
Michael
they're doing
Bay
that is because they're
Superman
showing that
would
it's
be terrible, but at the same
Oh,
time,
no,
it would be
no.
hilariously awesome because everything would be blowing up for no reason. And you could just justify it because Superman. You'd be like, "What? Why'd that happen?"
Lois
Superman.
would be in a bikini for no reason at all.
She was just doing this.
Base.
She's just like she's just fixing his car that he picks up to fly around. He's like he's just flying around with like a freaking Ferrari, but it's just like no, he doesn't drive it. He flies around with it, just so you know he has one. Like
No, I was asking like, beside maybe like Nolan and Michael Bay, what other directors really have that? Or James Cameron, he's in there. I would say his movies do very well. Does Denis Villeneuve
I'd say
have
James
that?
Gunn, man. Well,
James
no,
Gunn,
but
he has it,
when you
kinda.
think of like any of them that you can think of, he's taken these characters that people didn't really care about and then made people actually give a shit about them. Same thing with Suicide Squad. Like, are you kidding me? Like, I never would have thought that anybody could take any of those characters and make them worth anything again after that movie.
That's what he's.
Yeah, it's really good.
That's what he's done a really good job on. But the thing that I wish these directors would actually maybe give a little bit of credit to is I'm not just saying us YouTubers when we're like, low tier YouTube, but YouTubers in general.
Huh.
Like people wouldn't know the directors as much as they know directors as much as they do now unless you're on YouTube. Because I was never thinking about a director before. I was never thinking about this before. Like I would hear a name or two, but I didn't sit there and I'm not watching the credits. I never gave a shit for like years and years and years. And I've watched, probably maybe thousands of movies at this point or some shit. Maybe I don't know, at least over 1,000. Like I've watched a ton of movies. But at no point was like a director's name other than maybe like Spielberg, like in my mind's eye or whatever, where I was like, oh, Spielberg, cool. That sounds good. I remember most of the stuff he's made is now directors' names are in the natural zeitgeist of movie talk and or producers and writers. Even
I don't technically mind that though.
So what I'm saying about that is like them attacking like kind of YouTubers and being like, screw them, blah, blah, blah. Like this way that they talk about it. It's like, we're the only reason that you're actually more relevant than you are. Even if we're talking bad about you, your name is out there. Bad publicity is good publicity kind of bullshit. Yeah. Until you continuously produce bad bullshit, you know, and then we're going to sit there and slam you about it, of course.
Because people use the argument that you did. I don't think that's a bad thing necessarily, because now that you're more in the know about who makes your movies, you can better make decisions on which movies you may want to support. But nevertheless, let's get to this. Let's have some fun. Hey everyone, I am MSK and I'm a fucking black man. I'm gonna bang your wife. Joking. I'm joking. All right, let's be serious because we have to bang my wife tonight. All of us running a train on her. No homo. And we're gonna jerk each other off, and I will do that for you. Pause. That's gay. All right. Hey everyone, I am MSK, aka Master Swag King, coming at you guys today with another video. And if you guys are returning viewers or new viewers, then please consider subscribing to the channel if you have not already. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it and comment down below. Also, make sure you guys hit the notification bell. That way you guys can get notified on whenever I upload a brand new video or go live. And in today's video, we are going to be talking about John Boyega, as he has made some recent statements actually attacking Star Wars fans. So, as you guys know, Star Wars is one of the most popular media franchises of all time. But recently, for Star Wars, given Disney's recent last trilogy of Star Wars, it has pretty much divided the fan base. Obviously, their TV shows on Disney Plus haven't really been that good either, outside of like maybe insert Mandalorian season 1 and 2, and maybe like Andor for some people. I think Boba Fett was trash. The Book of Boba Fett, as I should say, was utterly garbage. Obi-Wan Kenobi, that show was utterly garbage, actually. Episode 7 for Star Wars, as people know, I didn't like it that much at all. I thought it was just very forgettable and just kind of just bad. I think it's just as bad as the other two, but it's just not as bad as the other two. Last Jedi is just holy fucking shit. I will never watch that again. I'd rather literally Superman myself out a window than ever watch that ever again. Rise of Skywalker, I'll never forget when I first watched this movie. and somehow Emperor Palpatine returned. I will never, ever, ever just forget that. That movie's also a pile of shit. So also, we had diminishing returns on each of those Star Wars movies. It went from 2 billion to 1 billion and even less of 1 billion with the last one. So this is just me, and everyone knows that I feel this way because I've said this constantly. So it's not like, oh, I am only just saying this because other people are saying it. I've never liked John Boyega's character in these movies. I never liked Rey. She sucks ass. I never liked fucking Oscar Isaac's character. He sucks ass. I never liked his character. I never cared for John Boyega's character. People
But wait,
only
don't
really
you feel
talk-
represented though?
I hate you. So people only really liked his character based off the potential that it could have been with a stormtrooper that defected that became a Jedi. I get it. So that's a nice, cool idea. But let's be honest here. Disney did nothing with that. They did nothing with it. Now, he was actually in the good graces of the fans for a long time. People actually thought that Disney treated him like shit from the poster and just the way they treat him in the movies. They made him just out to be some simp for Rey. To be honest with you, you guys know me. I never cared for his character. I thought his character was trash, honestly. I thought his acting was terrible. But hey, other than myself that I know, you guys even defended him too. But apparently now he just wants to be in the conversation again and he's want to blast Star Wars fans. I don't know if he's listening to the wrong people. I don't know who he's talking to, but he has said some really interesting things over the years. I mean, the famous one was him being like, yeah, I did talk to the executives and we had a conversation. We don't know what that conversation was, but, fuck it, right? And
dude,
I think
so I don't love what they did with the character, but there was potential to do something really amazing with the character. I got to be honest, I wasn't the hugest fan of 1, but he is not one of the episode 7. He is not the issue with Force Awakens. I thought he did a decent part in there. And then he just keeps getting like more and more sidetracked throughout all of it or pushed to the side. It definitely sucks for him. I'm sure he thought that he had kind of the like Han Solo progression through
all
this
those
new
characters
trilogy.
are just like Han, Luke, and Leia, just ghetto versions of them.
Even what you said earlier, MSK, like one of the main like fan theories going on when that first when episode 7 first dropped was, oh, we're gonna get a stormtrooper who defects, who learns how to use the Force and becomes a Jedi.
Cool idea.
That concept is interesting, and if you would have like built off of that, off the first episode, or like the first episode of the sequel trilogy, whatever, however you want to call it, but it's like that would have been, it could have been interesting, and like the groundwork was there, and even the fan theories had better ideas than what they ended up doing with it, because like even just how Gray just said, they just kept sidetracking him more and more. And so for him to sit there and like yell at basically the fans, he's like, oh, I'm gonna shit on the fans. It's like, dude, the fans were actually rooting for
they have your back.
Like,
they had his back. Yeah,
we wanted
it.
Like we saw your posters, and you got fucking you got capsized. You got capsized on the Chinese posters. You got fucking eliminated in this way or that. And it's like, we're out there actually defending you. And it's like, I'm not even the biggest Star Wars fan at all. Actually, if you've seen some of the stuff I've been on, like I'm actually, I'm almost anti-Star Wars at this point, just because of the way that they're doing.
Losers. Star Wars has always been for loser, dumb nerds.
No, like I've always loved the concept. I like the ideas. I like the old stuff, whatever, and I'm on board with a lot of it. But with the new stuff, what they've been doing, I just can't get on board with it, and the way that they kept going with it. Like I wanted to say I was a big fan. A lot of the video games are cool that I've played, and I'm like, I'm probably more in the let's say the wagon of just like, oh yeah, space wizards are cool. Like that's like obviously a joke or whatever, but at the same time, I understand what these characters are and everything, and I was like, I like their journey and everything that they're going on. But to see people like this basically go and again attack the goddamn fans, is this what all these Disney actors are employed to do? It's just like, hey, can you just go shit on our fan base, the people who actually keep us employed, the people who are giving you money, the people who actually buy your figurines, the people that actually do, the people who literally spend money to come see you.
I just want to tackle.
Can you go shit on them more for us? Like, what are you doing? What, this is the dumbest tactic.
One of your points really quickly. So this this tirade he went on that we're going to end up going over in just a moment here. So 2 things I'll say. Star Wars always was for losers, if we're being honest here. Like for Harry Potter, like those are loser franchises. I'm a Giga Chad. I always had better things I was interested in, like Naruto, Dragon Ball Z, like Power Rangers, shit like that. That's where Giga Chads are. Goku and Vegeta versus Luke and fucking Vader. Nah, Goku and Vegeta all day. Just jokes. But I love how this guy wants to talk about white people. Okay, John Boyega. This just happened this year. The Acolyte, one of the worst things people said exists in Star Wars ever. Apparently, Disney loves LGBTQ people. Why did Disney just cancel the show that was giving them money? Apparently, they actually like these people, but they cancel it. John,
dude, apparently that show has
you.
better ratings than freaking Daredevil right now, that's more indicative of just the Disney brand itself overall. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is crazy because Daredevil has massive amounts of fans from the Netflix era of those 3 seasons. People are like, oh, let's give it a shot. And you're telling me that even those people didn't come back to give it a shot, and then the people that did are actually kind of clowning on it. I see like maybe 1 or 2 people who are sitting there defending this new show, and it's ridiculous. The things that they're reaching and grabbing for, I'm like, you clearly have never watched TV before, that or movies. You have no concept of what's going on, which is, if anything, that should be your defense. Be like, look, I don't watch TV, but to me, this is great. If you were to say that, I would actually believe you a lot more than being like, this is peak Daredevil. Motherfucker, watch the worst episode of Daredevil and compare it to the best episode of what you got out right now. And that thing will freaking demolish the shit out of it. It's not even close. And if you can't tell the difference, stop fucking talking about it, because you suck at analyzing apparently freaking television or whatever. Like a lot of us have been around longer since. I feel it's like a bunch of 12-year-olds who are like, "This is the greatest thing I've ever seen."
It's for Zoomers. Yeah, we're the boomers now. Yeah, it feels like every time we have these conversations with people like John Boyega too, to just tie it back in, he always talks about race. It's crazy how they attack you for only seeing the world through the lens of race, but this person does. This person was clearly talking about. I'm going to cover literally right now: black heroes and white heroes. I want to understand this though. Just because a franchise, whether it be Star Wars, Harry Potter, Dragon Ball, anything you can think of, just any franchise you can think of, just because it had less black people does not mean that the people that created it were racist. That is you clearly projecting your real life scenarios into the actual medium. Because it had less people that were black doesn't mean shit. And keep in mind, why does it need more black people for it to be better?
Him though.
Well, I'm curious. Do you have the?
It would be hard not to focus on it that way. So it would be really hard not to focus on it that way for him when literally his character got minimized and like kind of desaturated and hidden on the posters.
Not him.
I just said, I think I'd be looking at that galaxy that way if I were him.
No, I'm just talking about the general sentiment that this always happens though. People just see things in race so hard, and it's like, dude, not everything is just blended in race. His case, I agree. That's understandable. But like fans do that same thing too. It's like there weren't many black people in Star Wars. Would that have made Star Wars better? And first of all, there's 3 characters that make Star Wars: Mace Windu, Lando Calrissian, and Vader is voiced by fucking forgot his name, who voiced Lion King.
James Earl Jones.
James Earl Jones voiced fucking Vader. Is that enough? You got
so do you have the article that actually refutes Walter S. here, who's like, I'm curious to hear how you took Boyega speaking to the studio and calling out minimal black characters as attacking the fans. There's parts in what he says where he actually calls out toxic fans and I believe even white fans in what
he does right now, as you said.
Well, I definitely want to get to that. But really quick, MSK pointed out that James Earl Jones is there. If you notice, inside that black exterior, there is a decrepit white man, much like in MSK.
To be fair, technically, at that
Vader
point, he's
doesn't
like 80 years old. He is 80 years old at that point. I'm just joking, but
I'm waiting for the articles like Vader put on black voice. Like what is happening?
Warren, did you want to say anything before you go over the article?
Well, I mean, we could go over the article and I could say it afterwards. Let's just get because he is directly attacking the fans. But let's go over the article and then I'll talk about it.
So John Boyega says Star Wars is so white that a black person existing in it is a big deal. Yeah, fucking didn't matter for Lando, right? When he destroyed the Death Star.
That's your sentence right there. That already starts this conversation. That's
This
what
is
you
just
were
the
looking
headline.
for. That's what he says in the interview. So there
Toxic fans are okay with us playing the friend, but we cannot touch their heroes. I just want to point out, just in that sentiment, let's just not use Star Wars. Let's use Friday, the movie Friday, for example. Craig is obviously the hero. Smokey is his friend. Smokey is, who's portrayed by Chris Tucker, is no less of a character because he's not the hero. That's just retarded. That anyone that thinks that is stupid. Unless the fucking movie or show or TV is really that bad. I agree. But goddamn, is that just such a stupid thing to say? Oh my god. But hey, it's a black person. All they can do is get EBT and eat watermelon and eat fried chicken and have 6 baby mamas, and they don't support their kids. But, I digress.
Wait, hold on. So Walter also says the character didn't write the characters. But then he corrects himself. The fans didn't write the characters. No, the fans didn't write the characters. He's commenting on what happened and what he feels like happened, and he's calling out white people for it. That's what he's actively doing. I don't see how this is any more clear, man. Like
I'm not saying that he's right on it, but
I don't even feel I can spell it out for you because he actually does. What are you talking
couldn't you
about?
see from that point of view, like especially if you were literally like made smaller on like certain posters and like they kind of hide your presence?
We called it out for him like multiple times. Like I did. Like if you're a fan of this stuff.
Here's the thing.
I just think if I lived through that, I would have a certain lens that I was looking.
Yeah, but okay.
What, the white people defended me? The white people defended me? Like, is that should be your defense?
Those damn
but
whites.
The reason why he was shrunk was not because of white people. It was shrunk on the Chinese movie posters.
I got you, but it's acceptable to have the white characters on the poster where not the
because
black
of the Chinese.
I don't want to see a black person in anything. Fuck black people.
It's because of the Chinese, though.
Like, his main gripe
poster. So he should be saying that the Chinese don't like having a black hero.
But he would never say that, though.
What it should be is I have a gripe against Disney for complying to the goddamn Chinese people about it.
Yeah, that's another thing too.
He should have a gripe against Disney, not the fans. That's the main thing that I'm taken aback by. He's yelling at the fans for defending him, maybe because that's all we did. There's plenty of things out there saying we want you to be like kind of like a Jedi who like a stormtrooper turned Jedi. Like that's been like the biggest fan theory since since episode 7 dropped, and then they threw that shit out the window. They lowered them on the freaking posters and all that shit, and then they turned their back on that idea. And then they want to cater to the Chinese, which is the dumbest thing that American products can do, because in China, you only get a quarter, you get 25% of whatever the box office is. So even if China randomly made, $100 million, you're only getting 25 of it. Like it's the dumbest idea to cater to. It's so stupid.
Oh, I just want to go. Oh, Warren, did you want to say anything?
Oh, no, it's just, I could go on with the point was like, Disney did this. Disney made the decisions. There was a huge amount of fans who wanted him to be a Jedi, wanted him to be a general. Trevor Moore's original script that he went over with Mark Hamill and also with other actors because he had his script written at the same time that they were filming Last Jedi, and they weren't communicating at all. So then you go hearing Trevor Moore says, well, in 3, you're going to be leading a rebellion and helping free all these stormtroopers and be a general and this big part of it. And then Last Jedi hits and he gets a script for that, and everything has been retconned. So I understand why he's mad, but just to be all like, oh, it's because of all these damn white people. Like, no, it's because of Disney. It's because of the Chinese racism. It's because of a lot of shit. But it does. I mean, none of those decisions were made because of white fans. It's not like Disney's like, listen, we wanted to make you a Jedi.
And as we know now,
so many damn white people out there that burned down the studio. Oh, no, they said we're not going to make you a Jedi because the Chinese don't like black people. So I'm sorry.
Dude, look, just because just point this out, just because Walter here, like I like Walter. He usually makes really good and funny comments. He's
Don't lie
good
to him.
people. No. He literally does. But he's
Well-
like, just because you're white doesn't mean he's talking about you. But right here, he's like, let me tell you, Star Wars always had the vibe of being in the most whitest elite space. He's literally talking about white people in general. He's generalizing. He's doing it himself. I'm not putting my whiteness into his comments. He's saying it, and we just happen to respond to it, man. That's it. I'm not sitting there putting words in his mouth. He's fucking doing it himself. That like what
I just want to point out here.
Where's
Before we go over this,
the split?
Before we go over that, back to what Warren said just for a second. Disney wouldn't have to reveal they didn't like these fans. They've been having people tell us that for years too. Because keep in mind, it's not a secret they like a good amount of the people that comment on the new Star Wars stuff. But going on to the main point of this, John Boyega called out Star Wars for being so white during an interview as part of the new Apple TV Plus documentary.
He's doing it, not us.
On the call sheet. Black leading men in Hollywood. Yeah, fuck them. Just kidding. Boyega debuted as Finn in Star Wars The Force Awakens and reprised the character in The Last Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker. His role in the sequel trilogy led to online harassment from racist and toxic Star Wars fans upset with a black actor playing a hero in a space franchise. Okay, so before we get to the actual this is the main part. Before we get to that, does anyone ever have any proof of this ever happening? Because people always say this though. There's online harassment and racism from certain fans. Where's the actual proof? Because just because they cast a black actor in something doesn't mean I have to like it. I don't have to like shit you're in. I don't give a fuck.
MSK.
I'm just pointing out.
You said racist shit towards him in this very show.
I just said he's Captain EPT. I just said he's Captain EPT and he eats watermelon and eats fried chicken.
Well,
I don't
that's
think
why
that's
you
racist.
never read the comments on Twitter and then you don't see all that horrible shit because that's
And keep in
where all
mind,
that stuff is.
If all of us online are just toxic trolls, why does that matter though? I don't think anyone's ever shown me any actual receipts of someone being racist to him. And no jokes I wouldn't classify as racist. Come on. But we'll get to the main thing that Sci-Fi's wanted to go over here, which is this part. Let me tell you, Star Wars always had the vibe of being the most whitest elite space. It's a franchise that's so white that a black person existing in it was something. That's not true. This franchise started out with black people. Where does this come from?
Person. I mean, he is an awesome black person. Billy D. Williams is the shit. But I don't know. You look back at the original trilogy, there is like one black character. Granted, he's the character I always wanted to be, but yeah, I mean, then they brought in like Mace Windu and stuff. Like it wasn't a lot of representation. So I think they kind of sold him a bill of goods that he was going to be this next generation's like Han Solo or whatever, and I don't think he got that.
You can always tell it's something when some Star Wars fans try to say, "Well, we had Lando Calrissian and Samuel Jackson." Keep in mind. Even if that was the thing that said, that means they had good black people in the movies representing what a good black actor can do. There's nothing wrong with just because you have 3 or 5 or 6 black people does not mean that's a bad thing. Would having more black people have just made you feel better? It wouldn't have.
Nobody cared. Nobody thought anything different about it. You're in a galaxy far, far away with multiple cultures. You got aliens. You got all sorts of different things going on.
Weird shit.
Nobody's sitting there looking at it like, oh man, that guy happens to be black. Well, we have white people here. Well, shit, we got blue aliens. We got freaking weird, like, I don't know, frog things that talk. Jesus Christ, nobody cares. And then but they want to go out of their way to focus on like, well, in America, we got white people who don't like to see black people. Motherfucker, my favorite goddamn actor of all time is Denzel Washington. Straight up. And I would wager to bet that's a lot of people's favorite actor.
Because you don't.
He just happens to be a black person.
He's happens to be a black person.
What an odd thing.
Do you see yourself as a buff black man one of these days? Do you see yourself ever as Shaq?
No, and I don't need to. I like to see acting done right, done well, and then then you listen to the way the guy talks, it's just like, oh my God, he's just like, hey man, I don't care about any of this. And I'm like, I even like you even more. But you
Yeah.
got these new up and comer motherfuckers who are just like, they racially divide shit. And the thing that he's racially dividing is so stupid because all the people that were defending him, well, let's just say are they're mixed cultures or whatever, but I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of them happen to be white people who are like, I want to see that random, if you want to go with the race thing, black stormtrooper turned Jedi. Like there's probably like 70% white people who were like, let's do that, let's rock with that. And that was the theory. What the fuck are you doing?
I just want to just tag along to the other part of this, which is like, because people will say that. They'll say that they have a couple of black characters that they like, but then the other person receiving that information will be like, but see, there's only just a few of them. No, that literally defeats the argument itself. He said that fans only told him that there was only 2 black characters. Is that not good enough? Well, first of all, what's wrong with that? Is that not good enough? And also, second of all, that defeats your point because that means that the majority of the white fans that are Star Wars fans like them. That proves that they weren't racist.
It makes me sound like
I keep saying Walter trying to defend this shit, and I'm like, I have no idea what the fuck you're going on about, brother. Because it's like, if you're defending like we're talking bad about this guy for trying to, I don't know, he's semi talking bad about Disney, then I mean, we agree. Like we want to talk bad about Disney as well.
I do too.
Are you defending like that he's not talking bad about white people? Like I hope he's not. That's great. But well, like what are you actually defending here, man? Like the things that you're saying in there is ridiculous. But when you're saying that he's not attacking fans, he literally says fans in these are quotes from him, man. We're not talking for him. We're talking about the quotes from it. Like, what? Look, maybe you really like this actor. That's great, dude. And look, he was okay in the role that he was in. That's fine. But come on, man. This is just what he said, and we're just responding to the thing that he said. It's like watching a trailer or something, and you're just like, well, I have an opinion. Like, I'm confused because usually, I don't know. I've never seen
the next part
agitated.
It's like telling me how many cookie chips are in the cookie dough. It's like they're just scattered in there, bro. This is I don't know why. That's just retarded. I'm not going to entertain that at all. That's stupid. They're okay with us playing the best friend, but once we touch their heroes, once we lead, once we trailblaze, it's like, oh my God, it's just a bit too much. They're pandering, the actor added. All of this. Oh my God, this guy's retarded. Jesus.
Yeah, can Blade enter the chat? Can Blade enter the chat? Because Blade is one of my favorite fucking movies of all time, and I consider him to be a goddamn hero. So fuck off with that nonsense.
He said
that's the first. That's the first one that came to mind. Let's actually, let's go with another one. Man on Fire with Denzel Washington as Quincy. Like, let's come on. Shut the fuck up with this black people.
Does Vin Diesel count as black? Just kidding.
No. So come on. Right. There's plenty of movies. Those are the first two that came to mind, and they're also great movies. But come on.
Once we touch that,
I'm a random white dude. Why do I know black awesome movies? What?
You fucking racist.
Fuck off.
They're doing crack.
I'm doing crack over here. Come on.
Like, I was going to point this out right here. This is some of the most dumbest tone deaf shit I've ever heard someone say out of their mouth. So once we touch their heroes, okay? But that's what these companies do. They quite actively race and gender swap mostly white characters to be whatever. Yeah, no one likes that. No one would like if you took Black Panther and made him, not Ryan Gosling. Let's say you made him fucking
Timothy Chalamet.
Yeah, sure. Let's say you made Black Panther McLovin from Superbad. Would people like that? No, they wouldn't. So they would have a problem with that.
I might go watch it. I don't know.
You're on crack. That's a crack take.
They're doing crack.
If they called it a Black Panther movie in the same form as like a scary movie or something, like hell yeah,
this line
I'd be all on board. Let's do it.
Let's not even pretend it's, you would have to be living under such a fucking rock to know that these companies have been pandering to people. Some of them, the executives, the people that work for it, the producers, the writers, admit to doing it. This is not me making this up. They literally admit that they want to put black and these weird lettuce, bacon, tomato people in this stuff to have them more represented. This is not like a theory. This has been said by multiple people. Okay.
For any of these Star Wars actors out there who ever go onto YouTube, don't just type in good reviews for Star Wars X, whatever the fuck movie you're in. Go in and look at the hate. Literally go look at, because that's what I do when I buy products and stuff on like Amazon. I look at the bad reviews more than I look at the good reviews, because the bad reviews will actually sit there in detail explaining why the thing is bad. And if it's not a bad enough review, I'll probably still end up buying it. I'm like, well, this just didn't happen to work out for this one person. But when you got thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of things that are telling you why this fucking thing is bad, and you don't go about that, but you click on one or two things that just say, oh my God, this is the best thing I've ever seen, you're going to get a very biased goddamn opinion. And that's what I feel like these people do. There's like, oh, I went online, I went on YouTube, and like the biggest viewed video has 10 million views, and that says everything's thumbs up. You're retarded.
Why are you calling out Jeremy Johns like that, man? Why are you got to do that to him?
No, he's actually one of the, I would say, one of the better reviewers out there.
Actually, really good.
Quick,
Chris Stuckman does that.
I've actually taken some stuff like the way that he's done his stuff. I've taken.
You appropriating fucking
no. Oh. You watch people who are doing the same type of stuff as you, and you're like, okay, this is the way you do it. As simple as like something like when I start a video, like, boom, I announce the title, something like that. Just little things like that.
Yeah.
But you incorporate that into what you're doing, and then you go from there. Obviously, my videos aren't as good quality and whatever. That's fine. I have no problem. I have no problem admitting that.
Fine. While also acknowledging that being cast in the franchise was a fundamental moment in his career. You do know you were a DEI hire, right? But whatever, that's debatable for another day. I just want to point out, I don't even fuck this guy. Oh my God, this is so tone deaf retard shit. Oh my God, man, so stupid. Like, here, it's the same argument we had with I think we had this in last Thursday show when this was me and Warren here, where people were, I hope they were asking this in a genuine way, why you wouldn't want to race swap someone like Superman. And it's like, first of all, you don't need to do that. Second of all, you could just make another character or just have a black character that exists as a superhero, or have him on the big screen. But to tie this back all in, God damn, man, holy shit, it's so stupid. Like, first of all, people were on his side. I don't know where this is coming from. Maybe he's frustrated. Maybe he's mad his career didn't take off the way it did. I don't know if he's been cast in anything outside of like Star Wars movies. I don't think he has. I've heard his name anytime soon, But in my opinion, when you start doing that kind of thing, it's just like, what are you fucking doing, man? Like, he isn't a good. I mean, his role in the movie stuck. Keep in mind, why doesn't he call out the writers who wrote his character that way? Hold on, let me look up. Who are the writers of the sequel trilogy? The actual writers. I totally forgot.
Well, to continue on with a barrage of ridiculousness, we got Walter S. back in the chat here. He's like, I think the point you're missing that I'm making is that his larger point is the studio. But at the mere mention of fans, people are taking it as attack. Of course we are. Do not mention us. If you don't want us to respond, don't fucking mention us. It's not that hard. We're the ones that literally pay your bills. We're the ones that buy your ticket. We're the ones that buy your fucking
the studio
figurine.
Technically pays his bills, and if he alienates the studio, he gets no more future roles. So it's safer to go after the audience as well.
There you go. It's a trickle down effect, but it's a reverse one when it comes to movie production, because once the lower tier, which is us, the fans, the ticket payers, the merchandiser buyers, aren't doing our job in their opinion, which would be buying and getting tickets and buying the merchandise. Well, what happened? Well, now it has to go back up to the top. So when you sit there and even a slight attack or whatever, but he's still sitting there blaming, and then on top of blaming, he throws in random. He throws in the whole white bullshit into it, which is not the case at all. I literally, when fucking the 7th movie dropped, I remember even buying some like coffee mugs that had them because they had cool freaking like graphics and stuff on them. I still have them to this day. They're great. The next 2 movies were complete garbage, and I understood that the first one was basically just a repeat of freaking like episode freaking 4 or whatever in the technical order, whatever. But for him to sit there and just shit on people, like if you don't see that, then I mean that's on you at a certain point. But the bottom line is he's not helping his case. What it more likely comes out like, and what it seems like, he's not getting any offers, and nobody wants to hire this guy because his character bombed. The movies that he was in ended up bombing in the long run. It's like these movies sounded like they made a lot of money until you start running the figures behind them, and it's like, ooh. You guys might have broke. You might have broke even at best. Yeah. Well, and to be fair to him, they didn't give him much to actually do in the next 2 movies.
This is the Star Wars Force Awakens. Here are the writers: J.J. Abrams, Michael Arnditt, Lawrence Kasdan. Okay.
Lawrence Kasdan has done some awesome shit before, and JJ has done some okay shit, and then once you get to this one, it's just all Rian Johnson.
All Rian Johnson.
Rian Johnson has had some okay stuff back in the past. I feel like Looper, like, talking about these new people, and I want to bring up like James Gunn. Even he's done some good stuff in the past. It sounds like they're all getting on this new weird train of like, let's just go mediocre. Mediocre is the way.
And here's the writer of Force. Here's a writer of the Force, the Rise of Skywalker. Good old Chris Terrio, the same fucking loser who wrote BVS. So,
John, you
have to remember too that these just wrote the original script. It goes through Kathleen Kennedy, and she has a whole army of SJW writers, and it goes through.
And every producer wants a little something,
and it all gets chopped up and through there. There's always been interesting to me, like when you look at movies like Blade and how well that did, and you hear the actors and you'll hear people complain, well, the white people don't want a black hero, or it's racism, and that's what society doesn't want along those lines. No, it's the studios making those decisions. Even when the studio decides to do a black-led hero project, they don't put as much money into it. They don't put as much advertising into it because they all think it's not going to work. And then it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. Plus, too, all of the stuff that happened to him in Star Wars in the new trilogy was all studios' decisions that all of the fans hated. They wanted him to have more of a role. They wanted the stuff to be different. Like right now, if they announced that Samuel L. Jackson was going to be starring in a Mace Windu movie where he survives the attack and he comes back all scarred and shit, and it's going to be a whole movie tying into the Mandalorian or whatever, they would be freaking out right now. People would be losing their shit and be super excited. People would have lost their shit if Finn became a Jedi and did the whole deal. They would have loved it. He's very bitter, and he's just lashing out. And these people never lash out at the people creating the content. It's like, oh, Hollywood, all these people like, well, you guys are all sexist pigs while they're working for people who are molesting them. And so it's like, I didn't make Hollywood. They call that
complicit.
Hollywood.
They're complicit in the machine. As long as they're getting millions of dollars for it.
I have no problem with African-American lead roles. I love Idris Elba, and I'll watch him in anything.
Everyone loves that guy, yeah.
Yeah, so it's attacking the fans, but that's really missing the point, and you're not going to...
I'll just add to your argument. How many people have asked for Mace Windu to come back and have something for himself?
Oh, the fans would lose their shit right now.
Imagine Samuel Jackson wants it. He's like, man, put me in. I'll do Mace Windu anything.
Yeah, they lose their shit. And if
that's
he would have kept his mouth,
right? Fucking racist people.
If he would have not lashed out, I don't think people would have been upset if they're like, okay, we're creating a Finn series and we're going to try to expand more on the Rey stuff to get ready for her. But it sounds like they were even just wiped out the Rey movie in 2026 off the calendar. So who knows what's going to happen with those stuff in the future. But Disney didn't listen to the fans. That's why they're in the situation where they are now. And it's just I don't know. To me, it's not going after the real problem, which is Hollywood, which is Disney, and he's not doing himself any favors. But if we remember right, when Star Wars was coming out, he lashed out at the studio, and that might have been, like Gray mentioned earlier, that might be a big reason why people don't want to hire him. And maybe now lashing out at the fans is an easier way.
Because he didn't even do it the way Ray Fisher did. He didn't do it the way Ray Fisher just went ballistic retarded. He went all Karen mode. I don't think John Boyega ever went that far, but it was enough where it was like he was always throwing tidbits in there that like the writers screwed him over, like and
they did. Can any of us say that they gave that character a good arc or did that character justice?
You're right.
He is one of them that got the most shortchanged, especially with Rian Johnson's kind of change on where the story was going. But man, Boyega has been in a lot of awesome shit. Like I love Attack the Block from back in the day, and I think that's what got him cast and all this shit. And then he was just in They Cloned Tyrone, and there was another one that was
Tyrone. Why was a black man in a movie called They Called?
Because that's all he can get, man. They besmirched his name.
I agree, but it's just the irony of a black guy named Tyrone in a movie. But so I will say this. The whole toxic fans and racism thing of Star Wars is always a tried and true argument for some of these weirdos in Hollywood. It's one of these things where I truly will never know why this guy said the things he did. I think he just wants to be in the conversation again. And he feels like since Disney really doesn't like this side of the aisle of Star Wars fans, let's just call him that, he thinks that if he says certain things about them, then maybe potentially Daddy Bob Iger with the Mickey Mouse cock down his throat will offer him a check. I'm honest here. A lot of these actors do performative virtue signaling bullshit to have the studios notice them. I mean, literally recently, I'm not trying to make this about Grums or anything, but remember when Elon Musk kind of called Hassan a pussy, a piece of shit, and then the Assassin's Creed Twitter account replied to him, and then they replied to Grums? Like, companies definitely are looking at all this shit going on. So I think him doing it was a way to show Disney, hey, I don't like these guys either. I'm on your side. And it's like, that's not going to help you, dude. They don't want to cast you in shit. I mean, if they truly liked him, they could cast him in the next Ray movie coming out. He could be there, right? Oh, wait, he probably isn't.
He's not even getting the movie, man. It's gone.
It's gone. Right. So,
I don't know. I dig Boyega's acting talent. I believe him in most of his roles. I just, I think he's a little bit bitter from being shortchanged by everyone in this one. And I kind of get it. But yeah, I don't know that it's the fans that did it, but I think Walter is reading it a slightly different way, that he's more attacking the studio without legitimately and specifically saying the studio is to blame for this. And I mean, he is an actor looking to get more work. So you want to not necessarily alienate the writers, the directors, anyone that has any part to do with this. So it feels like you can bring up that whole toxic fandom thing, but I don't know. He's got some points, but still it just feels like someone who is.
I just want to make sure I quote what he said again. So anyone that watches this.
Well, and then the other thing is you kind of framed it as he's just like coming out with this statement to like attack them. It sounds like it came from this documentary that they're kind of now showing, and it was a portion of that.
That's fine.
It could be wrong, but I think it's not like he specifically like called up the press and was like, I must attack Disney now. It seems more like they're latching on to these few lines that he said in this doc, but maybe I'm wrong.
It said, so white that a black person existing in it is a big deal. Toxic
it is. Lando was huge, man.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Saying, he's the one that would be bringing race politics into that. That's not, I didn't make this guy say what he said. He's saying white to black. He's basically saying that it's like that thing that people do where it's like, as I said earlier, if there's one black person or two, then people assume that like if you swap one out in a franchise that's dominantly white, then the white people are going to be mad with it. And it's like, keep in mind, why would you expect them not to be? If you take something away from someone that they like and you swap it over, yeah, it's like, let's say I'm a Laker fan and I fucking love, Luka Doncic, right? And they take Luka Doncic out and they put him in, they put him like a worst player in the league. Yeah, I'm not going to be okay with that. Why is it that in all this stuff, we're supposed to be okay with just bullshit? And then if things are bad, people go like, well, you didn't speak out enough. You didn't say anything enough. It's like, oh my fucking God, you can't win with these people.
You know what I've been saying lately, and it's going to sound terrible. I'm going to give you that as a heads up.
Oh no!
Well, it probably
But
won't sound
you
as
know
bad
what
as MSK.
no, probably not. But you know what it is? It's fucking and I actually hate this term because I see it in non-white spaces. Let's just say that.
Oh,
But it's cultural appropriation. What's the oldest thing out there? What's the oldest thing out there that culture's passed down? The oldest thing that's out there that culture's passed down is their stories, right? Their stories get passed down through generations and generations and generations, right? That's the oldest thing that culture's passed down. That's the thing that we know from our oldest culturational differences and all that stuff. But when let's just say whether it's black people, Hispanics, Indian people, whoever else wants to jump into our, let's just say, white stories, because what has been culturally appropriated right now? We got Lord of the Rings, that's a white story that's written by Dutch people. You got Little Mermaid, you got freaking Snow White. These are all white stories. They're like Dutch and German and whatever. Oh, but we can race change that, right? Is that not cultural appropriation? Is our stories not cultural? Are you kidding me? That's okay. That the fuck is okay, right? Like, I hate that differences that actually, in all honesty, I don't really mind it. You want to do that? Fine. The craziest thing about it is, you know what I want to hear? I want to hear stories from other people's places of origin, people's people's gods, people's interests. Like, that's why places are like movies like Coco did real well with like Hispanic heritage and stuff. Like, people like that, they resonate with that. I actually want to hear that, and I'm not going to sit there and complain about that to see that on my screen. But when I see a bunch of people complaining about this, that, or the other because of, like, say, when white people wear braids, even though Vikings did it, and all sorts of different.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, exactly. It's like that shit's bullshit. That shit's bullshit. But let's just say if you want to say the same argument, now we got to go into our fucking stories, right? Well, stop stealing our fucking stories then, right? Like, that's my counter argument to that shit. That's what I've been saying. I think that's pretty fucking accurate. I think that's pretty fair. And look, I do not care and I do not mind. If you shut the fuck up about that, also go out of your way to tell me the stories about your heritage. I want to actually know. I'm actually super interested. Dude, why do you think like South Korean movies are doing so goddamn well? They tell us some crazy shit we've never fucking heard before, and I'm not gonna lie, sometimes they're weird ass beliefs, but it's like, damn, that's fucking interesting.
Yeah.
Like, oh, don't wear slippers in the dark, or else this fucking random ghost is gonna like fucking I don't know, make you not shit right for a week. And you're like, what? That's crazy.
And I'm not even saying that Star Wars is exclusively for white people, but I don't know why anyone would feel that way unless you just see the world through race. Only people who see the world through race think like that. And then they project all that bullshit onto other people. And they think
that's
everyone
what I'm
else.
saying. Like, I don't think most people either, for one, care and are used to care. And again, Walter asked with a great comment: is it cultural appropriation though if it's white people making those changes? White people are making these changes. It's the other people in those rooms that are making the changes to help the white people like be self-aware. They're like, oh, I'm doing a cultural difference. But maybe they have some bullshit reason inside that company. Dude, this is nobody is going out of their way to do that. Yeah, your modern audience is just regressing. It's retarded. It's weird.
We're the audience. They don't. There's nothing more past us. We're the audience.
Dude, like, we're the last bastion of the audience because us and like maybe our generations of kids or whatever, we pass that down on, like, say you got kids, whoever has kids, whatever, it was just like, I don't want my kids to watch this version of Star Wars after this, and you're going to show them whatever. Say, obviously we've been talking about Star Wars, so like, cut it off at this point. After this, there's no more Star Wars, don't worry about it. Bam. And then you cut them off or whatever, and they're like, oh yeah. And if they see it later, they'll be like, oh, when they're older and they understand better, they'll be like, I know why my parents got me off, because this is fucking garbage, you know.
So we'll go around the hatch to wrap this up a little bit. Warren, we'll start with you. What are your thoughts and opinions on John Boyega's recent comments about Star Wars fans?
I think he's just bitter. I think he's bitter because the roles aren't coming in. I think he pissed off people at the at the studio, and I think that it's just lashing out. He's probably not going to be in, or hasn't been called up to be in the new Ray trilogy, if the Ray trilogy is even going on. Ray might be the only one that returns in that. I mean, we might see, so I don't. I think he's just bitter and angry. I could see why he would be angry, but again, he just wants to kind of lash out at everyone instead of just lashing out at Disney. Maybe because you lash out at Disney, you can't get a Marvel contract or come back for Star Wars.
I don't know how valuable that is anymore, having an MCU movie.
But
I don't know about that.
Yeah. So yeah, I think he's bitter. He's a good actor, and I think he'll be around and he'll make more movies. He'll do good, and I think he'll age quite well too. But this whole thing right now is just more anger at what the studios did to him because of the Chinese, which is somehow my fault. So whatever.
All right. Gray, what about you, man? Your final thoughts on this?
Yeah, I'll be echoing a lot of what Warren just said. I like him
Not
as an
me?
actor. No, never what you say. Usually I tune it out, never reflect it. Definitely never condone it. I disavow anything MSK has ever said. But yeah, I don't know, man. I like John Boyega as an actor. I liked him a lot before he even got cast in the Star Wars things. Again, I think Attack the Block is the first thing I saw him in. Everything else I see him in, man, he's an awesome actor. He can do an American accent better than I could ever do any accent in my life. I totally forgot that he was the same dude from Attack the Block. And then it's like, holy shit, that's that same guy. So I don't know, man. He's got range. It sucks that he's not really getting cast for anything. And, kind of what he was promised out of this new trilogy never came to fruition. And it feels like his character was one of them that was most shortchanged, which really sucks. But I don't know. Was he more shortchanged than like Luke's character? I don't know. That's how a whole generation of kids is going to look at Luke Skywalker. I think that sucks. I don't know. I think that whole series did everybody wrong. But you look at Daisy Ridley, it's not like she's out there starring in a bunch of movies now. I think she was just in that like Cleaner one or something where she's like a window cleaner action star.
That one.
So I don't know. It's not like anybody from there, with the exception of Adam Driver, is really doing, and I guess Oscar Isaac.
Yeah.
But even then, it seems like a diminishing thing. Like he was in Moon Knight and then a couple other things. So I don't know. It still seems like it's kind of hurt everybody's career. So that sucks, man. But I don't know that this is the way to get the career back. But it sounds again like maybe he was making some offhanded comments, and now it's going into this documentary. Fair enough. I know I think we talked about it last week, but I know I talked a lot of shit when I used to be in bands. Like I would just be right out back the venue, talking shit on the venue, the promoter, the other bands. I alienated a lot of people that way. It's something that you got to learn to not do.
It helped I was able to back it up. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
I didn't necessarily all the time. So, I don't know. I guess I identify with him.
Could you imagine if you're Oscar Isaac in a room?
When you're the death metal band playing 220 BPMs for like 90% of your songs and other people are doing like hardcore breakdowns, yeah, you got a little bit of shit to talk. But
I'm just pointing out that if you're someone in a negotiating room and Oscar Isaac is in these rooms and he's like, I just started Moon Knight, I'm not gonna take that seriously. It's like they don't even ask him, did you even try? Like, be honest with me, Oscar, did you even try? And
he was like ended up drunk on the lot one time, and they're like, "Oh, dude, we know you. You're an actor, right? Hey, you want to star in this next Disney thing?" He's just like, "Yeah, I'll show up. It's fine. Yeah, I'll be there."
Yeah, Pedro Pascal's
you signed on to something great. Yeah, exactly. Pedro Pascal's busy.
Like, there was this video out there for a topic that I think we covered like last year where like people were like, oh my god, this movie's gonna be so good, just give it a chance, guys. And the writers happen to have wrote like fucking Power Rangers, Prince of Egypt, or Prince of Persia, or one of them, and they fucking wrote Dracula. And it's like, okay, like, come on, like their track record is terrible. But Syphax, what are your closing thoughts on this? Because obviously you love black people. You dated a black girl. You dated a Shaniqua. She had real hair.
Well, I also stream with a ton of you people. No, I'm kidding. I had to say it. It's an easy. That's a layup of a joke. Come on.
We like cornbread. That's okay.
But honestly, it's like to be fair, I don't think I've seen him in anything since like Star Wars or whatever, and it felt like Disney almost blacklisted him through the way that their marketing was. So I could see him being angry at them more, and I can see where like Walter was saying earlier, where it's like, oh, he's actually kind of attacking the company more than fans. Well, just don't attack the fans at all. Go straight for the company. Go for the throat, man. Go for it. Just do that. You should have been doing that because that's some bullshit. Because the fans are the main people who have had your back this whole time. Even if like I don't find him all that great of an actor, whatever. I understood where his character could have went, and I understand why these people also took these roles. It's Star Wars, it's like this legacy thing. It's something so many people probably around them are just like, dude, you're in Star Wars. That's fucking awesome. That shit's gonna shoot your career to the roof. And then these movies come out and it's like, oh, it actually tanked your career. Yeah, I'd be pissed. Like I went into something thinking I had something awesome going on, and it just like flipped on its head, and people hate me now. Nobody wants to see me in anything. And yeah, I get that. That really sucks. I get that. Like he just simply should have put any of the fan comments, any of the white comments out. Don't do that at all. Literally, almost attack the company. If you went out your way to attack Disney, other companies probably would have went out of their way to start trying to defend you, and also probably booked you on it. Maybe it's not going to pay as well, but you'll get more consistent work. Like, come on, man. Be smart about it. What, you want to go back to Disney after you just shit all over them? Like, that's stupid. That's stupid. And people are going to hate you for it if you do. Like, oh, I'm in the next Pirates of the Caribbean movie. I'm so-and-so. Fuck you. Like, nobody wants to see that. Like, yeah, it's literally a sinking ship. Like, stop that.
The final thing that I'll say, basically, I'll just see the other studios too. All these other studios apparently love black people in these marginalized groups. Hire John Boyega then. Why don't you put your money where your mouth is? I find it funny that all these studios will cut apparently these marginalized groups of people that they apparently like, and that they'll just pretend to virtue signal for them constantly. But no, I mean, I never liked his acting in the movie. I thought he stunk all three movies. I think all three of them stunk, honestly. And I always take this to a writer combination acting. I'll say this too. There are plenty of actors we know back in the day that had bad writers write for them, but they still at least acted in a good enough fashion where you could basically say, movie wasn't your fault. Like Nicolas Cage is in part of some really bad movies, but even though there were some bad writers on those movies, he still acted very entertaining. I still don't think because you have a bad writer, you yourself should have a run it down performance, honestly, because he just stunk, honestly. He stunk in every single movie he was in.
I just watched a movie called Drive Angry with him in it. Like, I just threw it on randomly, and I was like, this is terrible. It's awful. But Nick Cage is being Nick Cage in it, and I'm like, I'm here for it because, like, I like him being ridiculous. I'm fine with that. Go do that, man. If you're good enough to do that, pull it off, man.
This is what I'll tell you guys. Don't defend black people.
Terrible movie. Don't watch it, but oh my god, it's a very Nick Cage movie.
Black people do not like getting people like that black guy will not like getting defended by white people. They have this thing against white people because they just let white people live rent free in their heads. They think white people are like the fucking devil in their head. Like recently, before he end, there was this guy on The View that came in and he was like, we should abolish all these laws that these old white guys came up with. Just want to point out here.
The View?
It was a clip. I didn't watch the full show because I have more brains than that. Does he know this one retarded black guest that looked like a fucking scientist from an 1800s movie? Does he know that these old white guys are the ones that abolished these laws to have slaves? Just pointing out there, these white people you black people apparently hate abolish these laws for slavery to still exist. Yeah, probably go check your history.
Give that credit. They're also the ones that made the laws. So I don't know, man.
Hey, tomato. But
it's almost like learning how the Democrats are actually the ones that supported the KKK, but not the Republicans. But we don't want to talk about that.
Republicans were the party that wanted to abolish slavery. Democrats are the ones that wanted to keep it.
Yeah. But keep going. Chicago, you're doing just fine. You don't look like a war zone, even without war going on. Keep going. You're doing just fine.
God, man. Like,
fucking
oh idiot. God, man, that's crazy how these people like him talk so stupid. Like they're people that legitimately believe in DEI and all that affirmative action bullshit, but just pointing out here, Disney doesn't care about you, John Boyega. I don't know why you try to appease them by attacking fans that like you. That's stupid. Disney doesn't care about anyone but themselves. And as we know recently, their movies are constantly flopping. I hope that keeps happening for them. MCU has no steam. Star Wars definitely ain't got no steam. What else do they got? That's it? Well, they have Hulu, that's not really theirs.
I think Lilo will be the only successful thing they do this year.
Christ, man.
Daredevil was kind of like their last thing, and Daredevil's been even if there are some people who apparently like it. I do not like. Most people I've been watching.
I feel like you're discounting Ironheart, though.
Oh God!
Ironheart's going to save
God!
I mean, I'm pretty sure Ironheart's like a 5-finger discount if you go by like gender norms or like societal norms, but like.
I
can't wait for that good old Ironheart. You know,
I think Fantastic Four is a big home.
No, like those are the big franchises, right? Star Wars.
You know why it's not. You know why it's not though is because Fantastic Four in general for the last main 2 iterations of it has been like colossal failures. So even the ones that even if you look back on like the early 2000s ones, not great. And then you got obviously Fan 4-Stick, not great. You have the 1990s version that I don't even know if it was released or not, but people have seen it. And it's
the Harvey
like,
Korman one. Yeah, it's classic.
Yeah, oh yeah, it's so great. But they classically do not do good numbers. Even and with that even being said, I will say like Superman has historically not done awesome and or great numbers. Like Man of Steel, I think is like their biggest thing. Maybe Batman versus Superman, but that's a crossover. But so the biggest Superman movie might have been Man of Steel, which I believe is in the 700 realm. Maybe with inflation, it's over 800. So like you got a couple movies from each of these studios that historically have not done great. Like it's I don't have a lot of faith. I have less faith in Fantastic Four than I do Superman, simply just because like people aren't as big as superhero like Fantastic Four fans. The only thing I think that it might have going for it is the massive rise in people playing Marvel Rivals and them adding in the Fantastic Four, and so people are like, oh, I know these characters now.
Yeah,
even though they're technically like the first Marvel family, and everybody should know that. But
that's the thing. That's the thing to end the video off with. John Boyega wouldn't have a family because his dad probably left him because he's black. So thank you guys for checking out this video. If you guys are returning viewers or new viewers, then please consider subscribing to the channel if you have not already. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it. Comment down below. Also, make sure you guys hit the notification bell. That way you guys can get notified on whenever I upload a brand new video or go live. I'm MSK, AK Master Swacking, and we're signing out, guys. Peace. Wow. Whew. God, ended it off with a black guy not having a dad. I love those jokes. God.
Started off with one.
Only way to do it.
But that's the thing is, if you're in Wisconsin, didn't they have that election yesterday where the governor
Wisconsin? No, it's a judge who ended up winning, even though Elon Musk was like backing them or whatever. Yeah. Which crazy? Doesn't really mean shit.
The governor lady gave a child molester 4 years when the prosecutors wanted him to have 10, and she was like, I don't regret my decision. Fuck.
What I think what a lot of these states come down to, and like you can almost see it depending on the state where they're at, is the people who don't go out to vote, they're working. They work regular 9 to 5s. They can't take the days off to go fucking vote and all this.
You literally
shit.
Can't. Yeah,
dude. In California, you see it all the time. It's like, wow, how do all these people come? And it's like, yeah, they're all the people who were like they live off government handouts. And it's like, I got nothing else to do. Why not go vote? Like that's literally all it is. And it's like, yeah, no shit, you're gonna get the freaking vote because the government's paying for you to not work. It's the craziest shit. And it's like, wow, we blew them out clearly. But then you look at like the maps that come out and it's like when people actually, it's like, oh, I can fill this out and send it back in the mail, or I can do this online. And then you look at the counties and it's just like states are like 90% fucking red, even in blue states. Yeah. You're like, well, what do you think is going to happen? These people are out there working. They're the people paying for all these fucking blue idiots to not do shit. And they're like, oh, look at the disparity, blah, blah, blah. Shut the fuck up. Go fucking work then. and all of a sudden watch the disparity in the fucking votes. You fucking idiots!
Dude, they can't go work. They have to be outside protesting Elon Musk.
Dude, you're in California. I'm in California. I got a bunch of family like up north. I go up there, like I got family in Yosemite, dude. And we drive up the hill in Yosemite, and it's just all red, dude. It's like pro-Trump, all this stuff. And I'm like, oh shit. Like it's crazy because you go drive around out here in like LA County area, and it's like, oh, you see a lot of blue this, whatever, and like a bunch of people with like trans rights matter. And I'm like, I don't know. I literally don't know anybody in person that supports any of that shit. Like maybe I just don't hang out with those kind of people. People I hang out with have this weird, it's this crazy almost phenomenon. It's a phenomenon nowadays known as fucking common sense. But apparently, it's like 1 in every 4 Californians have it. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But, like,
I mean, we don't live in LA. LA would for sure have Troon flags.
I'm in the outskirts of LA. I'm in Chatsworth. Literally, I'm 1 exit away from the next county line over. And I'll go there because they have a better tax bracket, which is crazy. I didn't even know that happened until I moved out over here. But I'm technically still in LA County, but I'm like, it's brutal. Yeah, people are insane, man. You can't. It's just crazy even just to talk to people in person nowadays. They're just like they'll just randomly bring up random political shit, and I'm like, oh, you're retarded. I'm sorry. And then they walk away, and I'm like, "Why'd you do that?"
Dude, that's the worst. It's where people are so glued to their phones they can't even make eye contact. Have you tried make when people talk to you, they can't make eye contact properly.
The last like 3 dates I've been on, like what I personally do, for one, I also have it on like silent. I keep it in my pocket. I don't even bring it out, and I don't even put it on the table. I just leave it in my pocket, and I'll sit there talking to them, and they'll sit there. And they'll like start a conversation. And I'm like, if they have their phone out before they're starting to talk to me, I'm like, this is going to go terribly. This is going to go awful. Like they're just they want other entertainment where I'm like, dude, I've had times where I can sit next to a girl at a bar and they don't have their phone out. And I'll just randomly be like, hey, how are you doing? Whatever. And that shit kicks off. No problem. But you go out of your way to set up a date and do all this shit. Fucking, it's a terrible idea. Don't do it. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of money.
Just
because you go out of your way, you plan it, you do cool shit, and then it's like, well, that was a waste. I can just go sit at a fucking yard house, and I got way better chances just from somebody sitting next to me.
Just brought her back to your place and had her give you Glock 3000 and send her home.
Dude, my place is awesome. On top of that, dude, I got a pool table, dartboard, I got all sorts of cool shit. Like
she could blow you under the pool table.
I mean, she could do whatever the fuck she wants at that pool table, but she could film her OnlyFans videos for all I care. Go for it.
God, man, I can't. When I go out to Vegas, I'm gonna rizz up girls by going out the nightclubs and the bars and talking to girls. That's what I'm gonna do. Gonna ask them like what their favorite positions are, what size do they prefer, like how tall they want their men, and obviously I'll be on the docket to get laid out there, generally speaking. But I can't wait to go out, man. It's gonna be fun. I'll be out there on Wednesday, at least. We'll have a day out there
for Vegas.
I'll be out there on Wednesday because I want to go out there and at least have a day to myself. Because Thursday I have to come back after the meeting's over because I have work the next day. But I'm going to work at like 10 to 6, so it takes about 2 hours to get back out from there, and I'll just go straight to work. I hate doing it.
I'm doing the opposite. I'm leaving like Thursday morning. Like I'm going to leave around 9, 10 o'clock. It's about 4.5 hours, and
but it's crazy. Meetup, though.
Yeah, of course I'm going to be at the meetup. It's about 4 hours if I leave at like 9 in the morning. I'm leaving at 9 in the morning, not 9 at
My
night.
Bad. Oh my god!
Yeah, I was like, no. I'm gonna have like 5 hours to kill before the meeting, like that, or the meetup. That's no problem. And then I'm gonna leave like Saturday at like 1 or 2 in the morning, and then get because I'm just gonna rent a car. I don't want to bring my car out there. I don't want to put an extra 1,000 miles on that thing. So
maybe I'll just ask Iron and Selena to crash at their place and then take a shower in Iron's house.
Well, what's funny is like as I've been going on and I've been jumping on other streams and everything, it's like I all of a sudden like my phone list of people that I'm going out there with I've gone for the last 4 years, right? And I'm like I have like one maybe 2 to 5 people that I meet up with regularly, other than like people like Chris Gore and people that I like. I go up, I say hi, and I'm like, whatever, they'll get me in, and then I just fuck off and do my own thing. But it's like, I was like, I kind of only know like maybe 2 to 5 people. This year, I'm like, dude, I got like 20, 25 fucking people that now that I'm doing this YouTube shit, people are like, dude, yeah, hey, we're all going to be here, here, here. And I'm like, what the? I'm like, I'm only going for 2 days. Like the last time I thought I was overwhelmed with just 2 people that I knew, and I was there for like 4 days. So like, what the fuck am I? I'm going to be just all over the place.
I know Jen and Sylvia are going to be there. I know Kata's going to be there. Atreus, there's the whole My Dual Shock's going to be there. I think
My Dual Shock. Kata's going to be there.
Derek's not going. He's going to be on vacation in Japan. So
yeah. Derek's not going to be. Uncle T should be there. No, I'm not sure for sure if he's going or not, but he said he was going. He'll be out there. I know like Roman of the Empire is going to be out there. Gun Ho Mac will probably be out there. There's a bunch of people. Shirley
Durley's going to be out there. I'll be like, hey, yo, girl, you ever, seen a black guy this tall, rich, and good looking? But, not going to happen.
I mean, I believe Leon and all those people, like all those groups of people, all those people are going.
I know Leon's going, yeah. Maybe John De La Rose should go after the shit he was talking to Leon, because JDA lives out here in California with us. So maybe he should drive up there and say what he said to Leon to his face. Just just let's have it happen. It's okay.
It's cool.
If you know, you know.
I'm a much nicer person in person, I swear. I don't get angry at all. But
oh shit!
Don't let the tattoos and the nice haircut fool you. I don't know how I'm gonna
end up meeting everyone. It's like after the meetup's over, like you said, you're leaving. I have to leave, or
like I'm not leaving till Saturday morning. So I'm gonna be there Thursday afternoonish. And I mean, I'm gonna see because I'm gonna go check out my rental car tomorrow and get a setup. And if it's cheap enough, I might just leave Wednesday instead. So I might be Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and
if you're out there Wednesday, Saturday, just let me know. That way we can stay in the same hotel room together in the same bed.
Well, the thing, like, I have multiple people out there that aren't even included with like all the YouTube people that I know. But my problem is if I'm drinking too hard, I can't justify going back to my car and be like, let me go drive 20 minutes into a random direction to find somebody's house. Like that just sounds like that sounds like a great way to get arrested. And I'm like, I've been thinking about it. I'm like, at that point, I'm just going to sleep in my car unless somebody I'm around is like, dude, you can crash on one of our couches in our room. And I'm like, I only want to do it for I'm not going to sit there and be like, let me just crash every night. But I'm like, if I'm going to be out drinking and hanging out with everybody, I'm like, let me justify this idea. And I'm I've already came down to the conclusion, like, I will just go back to whatever rental car I got and pass the fuck out and like wake up early, shave at like the bathrooms at early morning, and then just meet up with people. Like, I don't even care. And like, I'm not out there to try to get laid and be like, I'm going to smell all great. Like, I don't give a shit. I just want to meet up with people, hang out, and then get the fuck out.
I'm just saying, no offense to the women that are going to be going there, but some of them, it wouldn't matter what you smell like. Just pulling it out, honestly.
I usually just smell like sandalwood, and
I can't say anymore. Man. I'm just saying, if you know, you know. That's all I'll say. No, but we'll be doing that. Yeah. So I haven't told James this yet because I'm going to tell him on Sunday what the plan is, because he's going to want to drink at the bar, and then he's going to want to leave early in the mornings. So we're going to leave it like.
Are you driving out? Are you driving out there?
Yeah, we'll be going out there. Yeah.
So do yourself a favor of this, especially if you like to drink your own liquor or beer or whatever. Buy beer or liquor here in California first and bring it with you, because out there the prices are stupid.
Yeah, he doesn't care. He's loaded. He doesn't.
Well, if he's loaded, fine. But I mean, it'll be like something that would cost me about $25 to maybe $30 out here. I remember I last year I flew out there for the meetup. And I was like, on the way back, when I was taking the Uber, I was like, oh, let me stop at that liquor store. And a bottle that would normally cost me $25 to $30 was $70. And I was like, fuck that. I was like, fuck that. Dude.
I always say that. Yeah, people want to go and drink coffee or whatever. Just literally, I know people don't like it. It's a McDonald's or a Denny's. Who cares? It's just coffee. It's cheap. You can pay $80, like fucking hell, $10 for a cup of coffee. Like, what are you fucking like? Yeah, we're going to have a car stream. I'm going to let them know the details of going out. Not this week, but the next one, because it's the third week of the month. So I'll let him know the
I was
details.
thinking of doing that, grabbing
on
a little
Sunday.
thing and just running a stream while I'm driving out there. But
That's
it's
what we're
like
gonna do. We're gonna have a
I
stream,
don't
yeah.
know how I'd be able to interact with people while looking at it. I mean, I'm
You
probably
get a
also going to
mount.
be
No,
going.
you get a. They sell these mounts at like gas stations.
No,
where
I
you
know,
can
but
perform it
hearing
on
the
a mount.
comments, like I want to be able to respond to the comments. So unless I get somebody that can run the comments and ask me questions, which I got a couple of people that would probably
Just
be down to
hire
do
a
that.
just hire a OnlyFans girl off the street where you live.
No, I got people in my chat that kind of just naturally do it because when I run streams, I just like I'll post the link in my stream and I'm like, whoever wants to fucking come on, let's go, let's do it.
Well,
It works out for me, man.
We're gonna wrap it up here. Also, me and Cyphex will not be in the same bed because if you came in my hotel room and threw up on me, I'd be dead. I would be. Imagine a black guy choking on another white man's vomit.
When you put it like that, that's way worse.
Yeah. Jen and Sylvie, if you're out there, you're gonna meet the top G for the first time. I know you white ladies have never met a black
really?
man
Who's that
like
guy?
me.
Like I said, you need to tie a balloon around you, man, so we can see where you're going around the event. You're so short. Be like, there's MSK, dude. There's the red balloon. There we go.
MSK, why do you make us visualize your fantasies? It's so weird, man. So many mental images I can't get rid of now. Thanks to you, sir.
It's like
Well-
seared.
The thing that I want to do out there on Wednesday is definitely go to the comic book store. It's gonna be comic books Wednesday that week. It's great to get your titles from the actual store than buying online because shipping can fist you in the ass if you just guys know what I'm saying. Why would anyone want to
Get what
imagine
you're
that?
into.
And when I go out there in Vegas, no sex. I don't have sex. That is for losers and gay lords.
So you're going to continue your streak?
Of celibacy.
Yeah, so if you go into the meetup, if you can like smell virgin like Daredevil can, like you just be like, "Oh, MSK is right over there in the corner."
I'm just
Like,
pointing
there he
out,
is.
if I sleep at Iron's place and I use his soap on my face and he washed his ass with it, does that make me
Oh,
gay?
I bring all my own stuff, man. I
Okay.
bring like those travel conditioners and all the soap, and like I bring all that on my own, man.
Well, you wouldn't use Chris Gore's
But-
soap on your face?
No, I've never. No,
Could you
But
imagine
MSK, to
using
answer your
Dante's-
question,
Could you imagine
That's
using
not
like
what would make you
Dante's?
gay.
Could you imagine using Dante's soap and it turns you black if you put it on your face?
I mean, I'd at least have a reason for going blackface. Like, I'll just show up with red glasses and everything, and be like, "Hey, what's up, man? I'm Dante. What's going on?" Like,
Oh, also, Dante, we were having a conversation with Melanie Mack on a Twitter thread on Tuesday on my day off, and she blocked me after she was calling out Sydney Sweeney for calling out her engagement and being a whore or whatever. And I was like, because she said Sydney Sweeney called up her engagement to be a whore, and I was like, well, what the fuck? Why are you divorced then? Because you end up getting divorced and you end up being an online e-thought. I'm like, that's like what, pot calling the kettle black or something? Like, I would never take advice from a woman. Never take advice from women. Women have the worst opinions on a man. Second of all, I would never listen to
Second
Melanie
only
Mack
to
on anything.
MSK.
True. And Melanie Mack blocked me when I said, hey, why are you divorced then? Because if you're going to call someone else for not being married, well, you're going to show something, but, it's cool. Women get called up for hypocrisy, and they block you. But starting with Gray, what do you have planned coming up that the audience could find you at?
Yeah, launching a new show soon. Tentative date 420. Why not? It's Easter and it's 420. Why not that date? But yeah, if you just can't get enough, The Thinkers tomorrow on That Darn Kidda's channel, YouTube at That Darn Kidda. Last week we had kind of a discussion. So it's people from like 4 different countries getting together, disagreeing about everything. Last week we had a discussion about I guess like parenthood or the choice not to be parents. And I guess a lot of the audience weighed in because we didn't have a lot of parents on the actual panel. So we've got people coming in to kind of voice the side that we didn't get enough voices towards. So why you should be a parent. So if that sounds interesting to you, come over. I think it's tomorrow night. I think we're switching to Thinkers After Dark. So yeah, come join us. That's about all I got going on. What about you, Cyfax? What you got going on, sir?
well, tomorrow I'll be on Hold My DualShock for Fan Rant Thursdays, is where I'm usually a normal guest at. I want to believe I think it's either 3:30 Pacific time or 4 o'clock, somewhere around there. And then I'll be on Nightcap with DA around 10 o'clock. And then Friday, I'm going to go see the movie The Amateur. I got an early release date, or I got an early ticket for it. And I'll be dropping a review for that either Friday night or Saturday afternoon. And then I will have my StreamYards reset for my next 20 hours. I'm going to be doing maybe a stream, probably Saturday, maybe Saturday night. And then on Sunday night, I'll be on the DA's office as well. I don't know. I'm going to be trying to do more consecutive streams while also trying to do, I'm probably going to lean more towards like anime content, because we also have Lazarus coming out, which looks pretty fucking awesome. It's a creator of what's it called, Cowboy Bebop and Samurai Champloo, and that looks awesome. So I'm going to be trying to report on that as it comes out, or like, do reviews on that. And I'll just be doing that and then trying to stream a little bit more. That's about it. Yeah. Lunchbox Warren, what's up, brother? What do you got going?
I'm prepping for the con coming up next week. And that's pretty much everything I'm focusing on. Is getting everything ready for that. It's going to be if you're in the Washington area, head up to Port Angeles on the 10th through the 13th for SquatchCon. And after that, I'm planning to start streaming more. So I'll be doing more live streams on TikTok with doing issue 4 of my comic book, where I'm essentially showing the entire process. I'm doing pencils right now. And then it's a Lunchbox Warren. And I can put the link in the chat. Yeah,
Is it at Lunchbox Warren?
Yeah, at Lunchbox Warren on TikTok, and you'll find me on there. And
do you have a YouTube or no, or just
well,
just
yeah,
TikTok?
I don't have any videos on YouTube. I'm going to start doing it. I've been thinking about reviewing manga because I have a huge collection. I read a lot of it, so I might start throwing some videos up like that and along those lines. Right now, all my streaming is on TikTok because it's only really a thing I have time to do. I'm doing a lot of work both in the comic book and also on the day job, so I haven't had much time to do anything as of late. But keep an eye on me. I'll be popping up more, and I'll have more links and stuff here in the future because I'm going to start building up more of the online presence, or try to at least.
Right on.
Yeah, makes sense. As you guys know, for me, we'll be on our 200th episode tomorrow when I have a one-on-one with 32 Flavors of Nick Weiser. It's a second appearance. Pretty sure he's going to be at the meetup too, I think, actually. But
yeah, he's going.
I think a Laps Comic Fan asked me yesterday on our show that we do on Tuesdays is like, why don't we celebrate? I've hit enough of these milestones forever at this point. The milestone that we will celebrate on is 500, like I do with the Iron Man podcast. But the ultimate milestone I want to hit is 1,000 episodes. So no celebrations until episode 500 and 1,000. So I just want to just keep putting in more episodes because we're already going to be at 200. So, and you guys are just clout chasing worthless pieces of shit, and I got to deal with you every single week. So,
Only for now.
It's true. You guys are going to make a Legion of Doom to take me on, and don't worry, I'll find more people for my Justice League. To be fair, technically, if you were the Justice League, who's Wonder Woman?
You.
The only problem is there is no Truth Lasso, but other than that, yeah, I could see it. As Cyfax pointed out, you do have kind of a womanly figure. MSK.
Yeah, at best you might be what, Aqualad, because
That's
nobody's gonna remember you. Like
one of the Wonder Twins.
Oh my God! Remember when Wonder Brothers tried to make a Wonder Twins movie that was in the works? Remember that? Oh my God! Thank God that never happened.
MSK will be the ambiguously gay duo, just as one person.
Not true. Not true. I would definitely be a black man.
Debatable.
I want to be.
You could change into the form of pick, Afro pick.
Well, thank you guys for checking out this episode.